Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello! Welcome back. For the first time, we've managed to start a show without someone talking as the show starts. We're improving. We're getting there. But hello everyone, welcome back to Heroes Give Chase, our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition show. Hosted, but not sponsored by Roll20. Maybe we should poke them about that. Create an email spam campaign. But either way, welcome back. This is episode 6. It's kind of weird. We're approaching 10. We're over halfway towards 10 episodes. We'll see.
Crazy.
Which is when I will drop rocks on everyone and they will all die. So,
in a cave.
In a cave. Alrighty, so before we continue, as usual, let us see what everyone has been up to the last week, starting at the top of last 2 weeks, sorry, because we missed a week. So, Chrome, what have you been up to the last 2 weeks?
I've been getting outside a little bit, doing some active stuff, playing a little bit of basketball, you know, in an attempt to be a more healthy individual.
Nice.
Get some sunlight. Doing that like maybe once a week or so. And then besides that, just play a bit of Apex, bit of Dota chess, climbing Dota chess ranks.
Nice.
Rook 7 Dota chess now. So almost at the King Queen ranks. Getting there.
Very nice. Good to hear.
Oh, yeah.
Fair warning quickly before we carry on. It seems I haven't turned off the delay from casting. It's only 20 seconds though, so we're gonna leave it.
That's fine.
Alright, yes, Jixie, what have you been up to the last 2 weeks?
Well, the DOA episodes 9 and 10 are out, so that's super exciting. Getting close to finding our blue dragon friend. If you haven't checked that out, we have a lot of fun. I hope you guys have a lot of fun watching it. Other than that, doing a bunch of hero stuff. NGS is coming up, so I play on a Division B team if you're interested in any of that. Yeah, basically just D&D and heroes. Also trying to get healthy, but that includes just eating fruit because exercise is hard.
As a reminder, what is the name of your NGS team?
We are the Gilly Sharks.
Yes,
We represent our matron mother, Lady Lord Savior, Gillyweed.
And also, I believe that you had another team in Bush League.
We do have a Bush League team. It's made up a bunch of the casters. It's a lot of fun. We are the Betty White Otaku, so if you ever have free time on Sunday evenings, we play. Most of the time we lose, but we have fun.
That's all it's about. Alright, Kendrick, what have you been up to?
I've been doing a lot of streaming. Most importantly, I was streaming League of Legends, Heroes of the Storm, and Bloodborne. I thought I could finish Bloodborne this weekend, but the game said no. The bosses said even noer, and now we're gonna have to try again. We're gonna have to farm some healing pots and some materials, and then we're gonna try again.
Fair enough. Out of interest, quickly, who are you enjoying playing in League? Because I saw you post a Garen meme, but that might just be because of the dance, so I'm not sure.
No, I mean, you're talking to a Garen main here right now. I think out of all my 4 streams that I've had so far, or 5 streams, I've lost 2 games on Garen. It's actually insane. And people gave me crap when I picked him for the first time. Like, oh, Garen doesn't do anything. He's weak as fuck. But no, he was actually doing really, really well.
I feel like coming from someone who plays Leonhard von Griever, this is very fitting.
Someone who plays Leonhard von Griever, his favourite character in Heroes was Varian.
Still is? Still is.
So yeah, we're sensing a theme here with Kendrick.
Yep.
Alright, and Faye?
Mostly just been playing auto chess, streaming. Played a couple auto chess tournaments. Better at tournaments than I am at ranking up, apparently.
How well have you placed in a tournament so far?
In the 2,000 person one, I got top 32, and then the most recent was 64 people. I got 7th.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
Sick.
Well done.
Faye and I are literally opposites. I like hard grief in tournaments, but then I can climb regularly, and then Faye just bodies in tournaments and just doesn't climb regularly.
Fair enough. Whereas I have just been streaming a little bit of Heroes, casting Division S. The qualifiers for that have obviously finished now. So we have our top 8 teams for both the regions. I recently found out that the days those games will be happening on are kind of random. So I'm not entirely sure. Basically, I might be missing some of the cast to do this show and some other stuff, but it might mean I have more Saturdays free to at least play in Jixie's campaign, which I'll be happy about. And I've also been picking up more Apex casting, because it turns out, for starters, I'm really bad at Apex. But there's currently no observer system in the game, so you can't just join as an observer, but if you die, you start to spectate a teammate. If all your teammates die, you spectate the person who last killed one of your teammates. If that person dies, you spectate the person who killed them. And you can basically spectate and observe all the way to the end of the game, and seeing as I usually die in the first couple sets because I'm terrible, I can cast it all the way through.
Nice.
So, legit strats.
You're not bad. You're dedicated to your fans. They like to see you cast. You give them what they want.
I'm getting better, actually. Like, I had a revelation last night of I was literally playing the game wrong. When I had tried, like, 2 games, because I was like, you know what, I'm just going to unwind 2 games of Apex and then watching stuff on, watching people stream. Bunged out 2 games and just realized I was playing wrong and played a lot better. So that was good. So cool. That's what everyone has been up to. But last week in our D&D game, the group decided to become cat detectives. And which resulted in, at one point, Shivari nearly being added to a very disturbing collection. The group smashing down an old lady's front door. And Woof saving a cat, which you now own. So
Yeah.
Carol the cat has joined the party, along with Rosie the weasel and Emmy the golden retriever. So, yeah, the party has increased, but Lord Cadred himself has committed to having a party in your honor. And if you guys could remind me, what did you tell him your group name was?
I'm sure it was
Damn
Tears
it.
Go Caving, right?
Yeah.
I believe so. So there we go. They decided to announce that and then spent the day preparing. Is there anything else that you would have wanted to do before tonight's party?
Train the puppy if I have any time to do so.
You absolutely can find some time to do that. Let's start that off
Nice.
with rolling animal handling. First roll of the night.
Rip. Yeah, let's go. I am absolutely average at this.
And
Neat.
rolled pretty above average. Alright, you're starting to get there. There's now a pretty high % chance that Emmy will come when you call, at least.
Nice.
So it's a start. It's not completely secured, but there's a good chance. Alrighty, what else does anyone want to do?
I'm gonna let Faye go first.
If there's any extra time to be able to try and transcribe some of the scrolls that she got as spells into her book. I think it
Okay.
takes 2 hours per.
It does, and the gold. So, which one do you want to transfer?
Let's do Speak with Animals first.
Okay, so that's a first level, I believe. So that would be
Yeah.
2 hours plus gold. And I do not believe for your particular book, it's not like Wizards, where you need to roll to transfer the scroll. So I believe you're fine.
Yeah, I think it's just time and the
Time and
50
money.
gold pieces of ink that you have
Yes,
to use.
which you did already purchase. So you're good for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're able to transfer Speak with Animals into your... I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's like it's a something tome or tome something?
Well, the
Ritual
Uh,
tome?
yeah, it's Book of Ancient Secrets is the
That's the
invocation for
one.
it.
Yes, thank you. Alrighty. Anyone else?
I think Leonhard, after obtaining and acquiring his beautiful new chainmail, would try to find a nice hairdresser in town to look really fancy and good for this festivity.
Okay. You're able to find one. It is a very small sort of open air stall in the town center, where someone is basically sitting people down using mirrors to cut hair and then just brushing it off into into the street to let the wind take it.
Mhm.
Do you want to RP that in any way, or is there anything particular, or are you just tidying up?
Just tidying up, not going for a new style or anything. Just getting the man bun all set up, looking good, shiny. Maybe a little bit of barbing as well to get a nice, clean shaven baby face.
Okay.
That should be it.
All right. It's gonna cost you 6 copper, and considering it's very minor work, it's pretty efficient, but it is nice. They give you a little bit of a spritz with a spritz of water to give it like a little bit of shine on the way through.
Nice. Okay.
And Kaizen?
Kaizen probably hang around a tavern and see if there are any wood elves around.
Okay.
And if there are, then
Roll me a perception check.
or 12.
12. Still, it's a pretty low DC. You are able to spot not a wood elf, but a high elf. Walking by with a fairly androgynous looking high elf. Can't really tell gender. With a child holding their hand, walking through town. Not heading into the bar, but just heading along down the roads.
Walking through town. Okay. Alright, Kaizen probably just hang by the inn, eat some food, just kind of relax for the day, and if any elves happen to come into the inn, that would strike up conversation, but if not, then just be chilling.
Okay, well, we'll do 1 per hour, and seeing as Shivari's taking 2 hours for her book, I'll let you do 1 more roll.
Alright. Let me do that right now?
Yeah, I might as well.
Alright. 20.
20. Yeah, you are able to notice that underneath the pretty scuffed-looking helmet, one of the town guards actually does have very wood elven features underneath. He's coming in, and you're able to see as he takes off his helmet and sits down for a quick meal during his break.
Oh. Kaizen walk over to this person and say, hello, greetings. You are wood elven too?
Yes, I came from across the seas. Came here to work, earn my fortune.
Ah, across the seas. Where specifically?
Oh, maps white. I have some memory of my world, but it is still randomly generated. Oh god, please load. There we go. All right. I am from Kotapoko, up to the north, in a town that is too small on my map to read.
Okay, it's just, have you been here long?
I've been here, well, long by human terms, but for us, I've been here 30 years.
I am new to these lands, so they are very different.
Oh, yes, very, very, very much so. It's interesting. There's definitely a lot more disagreements I've found recently. But that might just be due to the mounting tensions. The other races seem to be catching up with our more natural abilities and learning more magic, and it's beginning to cause tensions and problems.
Indeed. Always so fast-paced, talk, always about them.
It's always about getting somewhere or doing something.
Yes, it is very interesting. Are you attending the celebrations tonight?
No, I'll be guarding it. No time,
you'll
no
be
time
glad.
off for me.
Oh. Do you like your life here?
Yes, I really do. The like we said, some of the it's a different environment, different society, but the job pays well. It's nice not to have to, like, I'm a guard, so I get to keep up appearances, as it were. But
Mm.
it's less politics that I have to get pulled into.
Ah, yes. Do you ever think of going back?
No, I intend to. Like I said,
Ah,
made my
yes.
fortune.
Oh. I just, after setting out, I had a sort of goal in mind, I suppose, but, you know, second thoughts sometimes strike. But,
What have you been? What's your goal? What have you been thinking? Why do you venture thus far?
I mean, it is a long story, but a sort of,
We have time.
long story short, set out thinking that there was more for me out in the world. I knew it would be different, but I suppose not in the ways that I have expected.
I see. What were your expectations?
I don't know really. I don't think I really thought about it that in depth. Just that there was something and it would be good and informative, educational, and furthering myself. But here I am now. It is not bad, but just different.
I see. All right. Well, if you do find a purpose, I hope you meet it, and if not, then the journey is the important bit. Everyone has to go through that bit. Not everyone reaches the goal. Almost everyone takes the journey.
Indeed. Although the goal is the goal for me, but a journey indeed is important. Hopefully, I'll figure out what the goal is, though.
I see.
But I will leave you to your business. But
No, it's been nice to speak to one of my own kind again. I hope you find what you're looking for, whatever that ends up being.
indeed, me as well. I do not see many of our kind around, so
There aren't that many, but there are a couple around.
indeed. Well, thank you, and
No, thank you.
blessings to you.
He gives you a
Brother.
nod and goes for his food. Alright. So with that, unless there is anything else, you guys reconvene and begin making your way towards the outskirts of the palace, where you have been told a festival will be taking place. As you do approach, you do hear the slight picking up of music. Nice, a small, relaxing party atmosphere with this music playing in the background. You can hear the talking, the excited shouts of children enjoying as you begin to walk through several party games. You can see some stalls actually selling ale, selling the fantasy equivalent of street food. All scattered around. There are people selling festive clothing. There's a young girl running around trying to sell flowered head dresses, flower crowns. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah. Flower crowns.
Yeah, daisy chain flower crowns kind of thing. Trying to run around and sell people those. There's another person who's selling sort of masquerade masks, and a lot of people selling bells and fans and stuff like that, with also small torches being given out if people need them, as it is getting dark. There is a lot of street lighting of torches, but giving out smaller torches so that people can get around that way. You can see there's a very heavy guard presence. A lot of it seems to be to make sure the torches don't catch everything on fire. But overall, everyone seems to be having a good time, getting slowly more and more merry. You have some time before you're needed at the feast table. There are several party games around if you wish to participate.
Well,
I
what kind
100% want to participate.
yeah, what kind of games are we talking about here?
All right, so you're looking over. You make me a perception check. Let's see what you see.
All right.
Yeah, with advantage because I'm interested too.
Absolutely.
Okay, damn it.
No worries.
And we're going for another
18
one.
still pretty good. We're
Yeah.
plus 0.
There we go.
18 and 8, so the 18 is taken. Alright, so having a look around, you're able to see that there's one person who is handing out a large jar of what looks like walnuts, and is handing out with asking people to guess how many are in there. There's another one where it appears to be almost a small archery range, with a load of targets set up and a very small bow, like only like a foot and a half in length, like shorter than an average short bow. That people are using to take pot shots at the targets, with looks like small wooden toys being given out as the prize. You can see a test of strength style machine, the old-fashioned ones where you hit something with a hammer to try and make a small wooden block hit a bell. And you can see a small stage further along that you can't really tell what's happening over there yet. You would have to move closer.
Okay.
Oh
okay.
boy, guys, what should we do? There's so much to do here. I'm so excited.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of games for you to try, Woof. Now, I think you could be doing really, really well in the strength competition over there. I'm gonna cheer
You
for you.
think so? Okay, I'm gonna go do that one.
Alright. Are the rest of you going as well? Are you moving as a group, or are you splitting off to do stuff?
Yeah, Kaizen will follow. See how Wolf does.
Yeah. Shivati will follow and cheer on.
Real quick, was I able to get my fancy collars and harness
Yes,
and
you were.
the leather? Okay, so my pets
Yeah,
are
anything
very
you guys
decked out.
Yeah, anything you guys bought yesterday is delivered to last session is available now.
I mean, Carol are here. They have like bows and stuff on. They're very beautiful.
Carol looks very
Do
displeased about being
Shivati
forced to wear a bow.
Do Shivati and Kaizen wear anything out of the ordinary? I forgot.
You tell us.
Wait, were my snake scale boots done by this point?
They
Or
were.
no? They were? Okay. Snake scale boots.
Nice, the pimp boots.
Yeah.
Shivari still has her disguised self on, so she still looks human, but she'll have like a nice kind of party dress on. Something simple.
Okay. Did you buy that, or...?
Well, disguised self.
Oh, I see. I didn't think of that. Fair enough. Alrighty. Chat, stop trying to start a party riot. Alright, so you guys head up towards the test of strength machine. You can see a not very strong looking human who's currently leaned up against the machine, casually smiling, as a maybe 12, 13-year-old human boy is lifting this large wooden mallet above his head, brings it down with an almighty thud onto the button, and the wooden block gets about a third of the way up. Unlucky there, kid. You tried your best, but unfortunately, you haven't beat the machine yet. But tell you what, flicks him a silver piece. Here's half your money back for trying so hard. You beat what some people have come here. You keep working, you can be as strong as a town guard. Now, who's next? Who will try their might?
Me! Pick me!
Yes,
I wanna
you,
do
the
it!
excitable young gentleman. Come forth, test your strength. At the almighty Monstazors, test your strength machine.
I'm gonna run up to it, but as I run by the little boy, I'm like, "Hey, you did really good." I'm gonna turn to myself and I'm gonna do better.
All right. Well, it is 2 silver an entry if you wish to have a go.
I will hand him 2 silver pieces.
Thank you. What is your name, good sir?
Oh, you can call me Wolf.
Wolf?
Yeah.
Got a nickname?
No, just Wolf.
All right then. Woof. Did you so want to do then? Take that mighty mallet, lift it above your mighty head, and bring it down with a mighty smash. If you can hit the bell,
I
you win the
can do
grand
that.
prize.
I like the prize. I don't know what
It's a secret. Alrighty.
I'm gonna
So
roll for this, or
you do. So you bring it up. This is going to be an athletics check.
athletics. All right.
Oh.
Oh.
Bam! Woof brings it down with a hit. Ooh, makes it about just over halfway up.
Aw.
Oh, you did so well, Woof, but unfortunately, you do not have the strength that the gods offer to beat my machine. If you want to try again, it's another 2 silver.
I'm 100% trying again.
Okay, he takes another 2 silver.
Okay. All right.
Don't worry, Wolf, you can do it.
Yeah!
Boosh! Ding! Hits the bell at the top. The crowd around. Ooh! He looks shocked at the machine after your first attempt. Well, that was very impressive. Good job, young man.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. I hate it. Did you see that, Leonhard?
Leonhard waves like.
Alrighty. The man reaches under his table, pulls out a small sack. Now you get to go for the lucky dip prize. Rummage around inside and see what you can find. Please roll me a d4.
Alrighty. Let me get a stick. Then it'll be
1.
excellent.
You reach inside and you pull out what is a potion of greater healing.
Ooh!
That is a worthy prize, young man. You did very well. Your luck is as strong as your strength.
Thank you so much! And I'm gonna give him a big hug.
Oh, then thank you. Thank you, young man. Now, who else wants to take part and test the strength of the gods and apparently Woof? Any of the rest of you want to try, or are you going to move on?
Leonhard looks at his fancy clothes, the white chainmail, and is like, nah, not gonna get his hands dirty for now.
I'm the best.
Yeah, I think you're very good at that, you know?
Say again, sorry?
I said, Sir Leon, I think you would be very good at that, you know?
Leonhard
This
looks
is
once
true.
again at his clothes. Then he looks at Shavari's encouraging face. He's like, Shavari, a man such as myself cannot deny a lady such as you. I shall test my might. And then he walks very confidently, like a peacock, strides over to the to the man and says,
You're getting there just as a little girl gets it higher than the small boy who came previously, getting it just short of halfway up as it comes back down. Oh, you did well there, Sally. Tell you what, here's half your money back, and flips her 1 silver piece. Who is that? Ah, is that a member of the Homeland Security? I see.
You guessed right, good sir. And without any further words, Leonhard is just holding his palm open.
With silver in it, or just in general?
No, just in general.
He takes it. He takes your hand to shake.
No. He's immediately retreating that hand, and he's like, "Well, shall we do the big prize immediately, or do you want me to actually try this machine first?"
As much as I believe in our wonderful Homeland Security, I think that it would only be fair on the children if you were to take part, to show that you are, in fact, despite being our great protectors, still one of us.
How many children does Leonhard spot in the crowd?
Or what's your passive perception, or are you actively looking?
Not just looking, actually.
Okay, then yeah, roll perception.
Okay. 18.
18. You can see at least 8, along with parents.
Okay. So then Leonhard gives him the 2 silver to participate.
Mm-hmm.
And then, while his pouch is still open, he tosses another silver piece each over to each child. And
They're
gives
like,
a gallant
ooh!
bow.
The parents, like, look shocked. A really surprised look, but like giving like grateful nods and stuff. And just, like a couple of them lean down, just like say thank you to the brave protector. Thank you, sir. Alrighty.
And then Leonhard
You are
just,
handed a wooden mallet.
stands straight and just addresses the children. Remember to always put your garbage out there so you would have clean homes and whatever. Clean home is a happy home, or whatever. and then immediately picks up the mallet and just tries to hit it as hard as he can.
Alright, give it an athletics check.
All right, let's go.
Not bad. It doesn't hit the bell, but it does right up to the top and then slides back down. You hear it all, but you hear a very pleased "Oh!" from the crowd. Still appreciated, even though you didn't hit the bell, and a polite round of applause from the parents.
All right.
Good job, Leonhard. You're almost as strong as me.
Leonhard pretends he didn't hear that, and with a forced smile, you can definitely see a twitching eyebrow here, there. Just bows and says, "Next time, I'm gonna get the prize, good sir."
I would not expect anything else. Thank you for your generosity, and thank you for your protection. Alrighty, do you want to move on?
Yeah. I want to go see the dolphins.
Are there any servants running around with like a platter and drinks on it, or snacks, or something like
No
that?
servants, but there are. This is a public party. You're not in the area
okay,
where there would be servants yet. There are certainly people running around with like small stalls. Think like baseball hot dog vendors.
Right.
Where it's just like wandering around, hot dogs, get your hot dogs here. But in this case, it's miscellaneous meat on a stick. Who knows what it is?
I want miscellaneous meat on a stick.
That'll be free copper.
I could do that, yeah.
Okay,
Let's play with
you
Emmy
buy.
and Carol.
Okay, you and
We get
Carol
2.
share, and Emmy. Emmy and Carol share miscellaneous meat on a stick.
Nice.
Are there a lot of people wearing masquerade masks that are being sold?
There's a
or-
couple. There's not a huge amount. You can see the masks themselves look pretty well made and probably cost a pretty penny. So not everyone's wearing them.
Okay. Kaizen will find whoever's selling them and inquire as to what the price of them is.
Ah, these masks will cost you 8 silver pieces, my good sir.
Okay. I will take one.
All right. Is there any particular design you would like? You can see there's a good variation here. Basically, any color combination you can think of will be available.
A color combination. What color were the snake scales?
The what? Sorry.
The snake scales. What color were they?
They were green and orange.
Green, orange. I'll have it match that.
All right, you get a green and orange mask. Yeah. Do you want to put it on now, or just carry it with you for the moment?
Yeah. Kaizen will put it on
All right.
and walk back over to the rest of the group.
Group, you
All right,
see
well,
Kaizen
so-
with a green and orange mask.
Try will also go over and may I also purchase them?
Of course. Which one would you like?
Are there any that are like a dark tone of purple, like a dark shade of purple?
Absolutely.
The darker purple. Draco?
Of course. That is fine. Takes that. That is 8 silver pieces.
Okay, and then hand over the silver.
Okay.
Thank you.
Of course. Enjoy the party.
I don't trust the masks. Keep giving them a sideways eye. I'm just like, I mean, why are these guys following us?
All right. Which game of any do you want to go to next?
No,
There's,
I count the walnuts.
You want to go to the walnuts? All right. You head over. There's a man sitting there who's like, you can currently see it again. Another small child with a flock of red hair on his head is currently looking at it, giving it a little shake. As the man looks down at him, "Come on now, you look like a smart kid. I'm sure you can work this out." "Ooh, like a million. Ooh, so close, kid. You did your best, but that's not the prize. That is not the prize amount. If you want to try again, please feel free to come back." Kid puts it back up and wanders back off to his parents, looking a little disappointed. Alright, as you all approach, there's more lovely partygoers. Would you like to have a guess? If you can guess how many walnuts are in this basket, how many walnuts are in this jar, then you will win a very special prize.
I want to do that, guys, but I'm not good at counting. I can only count to 4. I think there's more than 4.
There is probably more than 4, but you could count to 4 a lot of times.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Kaizen, I believe you have the highest passive perception.
Yeah.
As you're muttering to Woof, you spot on a small table behind this one, on top of a very nice set of cushions, a pair of green elven-looking shoes on a cushion behind the stall. They have a small gold. They have small gold inlays sewed into the side. They look very expensive.
Got you. Okay. Woof, you count to 4 a lot of times, and then you can tell them that it is just 4 that many times, and let him do the math.
Oh, that's a really good idea. That's so smart. You're so smart. I don't like what you got going on right here, but you're still as smart as Kaizen.
What do you mean?
It kind of freaks me out. I don't understand.
Well, it
You
is,
look nice, though.
Seems to be accepted fashion here. Wanted to try something new. Draws less attention away from,
Your ears.
Yeah. Let us go with that.
Okay. I think you look nice, though, but you always look nice.
Well, thank you. Likewise to you, Wolf.
Okay. I'm gonna go count the walnuts.
Okay.
Before you start counting these nuts, Wolf, let me have a quick conversation with this man, if you don't mind.
Okay.
And then Leonard, with a very bossy hand flick, just addresses the man. "Sir?"
Yes? Are you wanting to count the nuts?
I do not count. I do not need to count. I know exactly how many I've got. Now,
Only for that
How
kind
do
of
we-
language, we're around children.
now, how do we know, good sir, that you actually admit the right number of nuts when you could just always say, no, that's not the right number?
Well, are you accusing me of being a liar, good sir?
Oh, I just want to know if we're going to have to solely trust your honesty.
Well, you can trust my honesty, and at the end of the day, I will be counting out the nuts in public.
He's gonna
Sounds
show
like a
his
deal.
nuts in public.
You can hear a couple
Sounds like-
children a couple feet away from Wolf start to snicker a bit.
All right. Leonard turns around and says, "Be done with it, Wolf."
1 silver a go, good sir.
Okay. put my silver on the table. I'm gonna be so broke by the end of this.
Some of the prizes are money. Alright, now, here's the rules. If you get... Speaking of which, yeah. If you can guess the exact right amount, you will win these wonderful boots of elven kind, made by the elven folk in Kotapoko. If you are able to guess within 5, you will receive 5 gold pieces. If you can guess within 10, you'll receive double your money back, aka 2 silver. If you are too far away, you get nothing.
Okay. Wow. Wow, there's so much to win. Which one do I want? Okay.
All right. So, how
Let's
do
look
you
at the nuts.
how do you plan to discern how many nuts there are? Are you just going to take a guess, or?
I want to. I want to open up the jar and smell them.
As you attempt to open the jar, he gestures you away. No, opening the jar. That would be cheating.
But I always figure out stuff by sniffing it.
Okay, well then tell you what. You hear the small as he undoes the jar and then just lifts it slightly, but doesn't let you see inside. It's just enough for you to smell.
How many nuts does it smell like?
What a fucking insane question. Roll of investigative. Perception? What? Is this perception or investigation? I assume this is perception because it's using it's using smell. I guess roll a perception check. It smells like at least 6 4s.
At least 6 4s. How big is this jar?
About yay big, about 1.5 feet wide to 2 feet tall.
Like if you were to go to like a Costco and get like a big thing of cheese puffs, is it like that or like,
Bigger than
like
that.
a pickle jar? Okay. At least, seeing as that big, there's gotta be more than 6 4s in it, right?
He screws the top back on.
Can you see through the jar? Like, can you see?
Yeah,
the
it's transparent. You can see it's full of nuts.
Shivari will step up and also put down a silver. I would like to try as well.
I think there are at least 6
of
4s
course,
in there,
of course.
Shivari.
There's
But I
no.
didn't get a good smell. There's at least 6 4s. They don't smell as good as I used to.
Thank you for the raid, Zolty. Alright.
Perhaps, yeah.
Alright, Shivari, how do you want to try and discern?
So, using the power of her investigative skills and intelligence, she wants to judge the height of the jar and width and all that, and then the size of the walnuts, and then try and, extrapolate from there. Because she's
Okay,
smart.
well, we're going to have to
than I
probably
am.
make several rolls for this.
Okay,
Because for
okay.
starters, you're going to have to try and... For starters, we'll go with try and take a walnut average. Find the mean walnut. So just make me an intelligence check for that.
Okay, just straight intelligence.
God, my automod's having a field day.
Well.
With the
I
amount of
see.
nuts in chat. 12. You get a general idea of the mean nut. Now make me another one for jar dimensions.
Okay.
Attempting to work out the volume. Ooh, that might throw off your calculations a bit. Now just see if you can recover it. Make me one more intelligence check for... to see if you can get a general estimate of nut per inch volume.
15.
Alright, looking at it, it's pretty big. It's probably above... with the sheer size of it, it's definitely above 100. And it looks like that's just on the outside. On the outside, it's about 50, and the jar itself has a pretty big volume, so maybe 200-300. It's quite an estimate. It's a big jar.
I can only smell 24. Unlucky.
The smell starts to, blend together. After.
That's what I was. That was like. There's no way that you're
There
gonna
are
get away with
different
this.
nuts in here.
Shari's kind of standing there like, thumb kind of in her mouth, like thinking, like eyebrows slightly furrowed, like.
Basically, the way this is going to work, you get to make certain investigations. And then when you make a guess from that, depending on how well your investigations did, it's going to increase your luck, and you're going to roll to see if you get it right. That's how we're doing it, because it would be really hard for me to describe the mathematical capabilities of working out a jar full of nuts without giving it away. So this is going to be a little luck based. In theory, you could win by saying 1 and rolling a nat 20. So
Alright.
yes,
Can I shake it and see how many nuts I can hear?
sure. Give it a shake. Roll me a. I think this would be investigation.
Okay. I don't see so. Oh no!
Better.
That's not bad. Come to me, nuts.
In shaking it, you can tell that there's enough nuts that the jar is packed solid. There's very little nut movement. You're all 12.
Okay. I think I'm ready to make my calculations.
Okay. Alright, you want to have a go?
Yeah, we're just rolling a straight d20.
Straight D20. And say a number out loud as you do so.
Okay. Okay. So I originally thought there were 6 4s, but upon shaking it, I realized that that is much too small. So I have to do some thinking because I just realized I probably wouldn't know the number 6.
Remember, you can do what was. Oh yeah, that's an excellent point. You knew it was 4. You knew it was at least 4 4s and also another 2 4s in your smell.
Wait, can we do this math by using exponents? Like, there's only 4, but I don't know.
Oh,
Sorry, what do you think?
Should
I'm
I
gonna
still
say
kinda
that
lost
plus
in-
4.
Still kind of lost in thought. Yeah, maybe that sounds. Yeah, hold on.
Leonhard, do you know numbers?
A great deal of numbers.
Wait, what's a big number? Like
You know,
more than
things-
4.
I'm regretting this decision immensely.
Thinks a
I'm
bit, thinks a
sorry.
bit, and then says, "You usually can't go wrong with 258."
Okay, that plus what's that plus 4, Shivari?
Sorry, what?
What's 258 plus 4?
It's 262, young man.
That's what I'm gonna guess.
All right, 262. Ooh, you were close, but that's not quite it. You tried your best. If you want to have another go, it's another silver piece.
I think I broke something. I'm gonna go lay down.
I think 28. 328.
328. All right. Well, let's have a check here. He lifts up a small piece of parchment as he has a look. Ooh, again, you're getting in the right ballpark. Rolls it back up, but that is not quite right.
Shivari, how did you come to that?
Sorry, what?
How did you get that number? What, you were thinking a long time?
Yes. You take the size of the container and the volume of it and the size of the walnuts, and then you kind of extrapolate from there, and it's a lot of math in my head right now, sorry.
So you mean like, how big the jar is, and then there's, you see all the ones on the outside of it, and then just do more rows of that till you get to the middle?
Pretty much,
Okay.
basically.
You wanting to have a go there, young man?
It's between
yes,
262 and 1,000,000.
A million is a pretty big number.
Yeah, it's not that one that the little boy tried.
I bet he was close.
Yeah, that's what the guy
The man
said.
said he was, yes. Indeed. Okay. So, yes, I think I will have a go.
All right, you put down a silver piece for him. He
Yep.
gestures to the jar. Have a go there. Both your friends were certainly thinking in the right direction. Some very interesting techniques there.
Yes, I am
Thank you
learning.
so much for this fan toucher. It's been the best.
You are welcome.
So Kaizen wants to look at, with this new information, wants to look at how large one of the nuts is, and then see like how, like compare that basically with how big like the container is.
So you want to try Shivari's method?
Basically, but then like it gets a little smaller every time because he wants to do like like all the ones on the outside, but then it's gonna make smaller by like a few, like I don't know, rings each time because it's gonna get smaller. It's like the rings keep going in and in.
Okay, so for starters, let's make an intelligence check for the mean nut measurement.
9.
9. All right, now for the size of the container.
4. Oh wait, that's the same. Whatever. 4.
There's no difference. All right, so not great on the mean nut measurement, not great on the nut receptacle measurement. And one more for the just general concentric estimate.
Oh, a 20.
Ooh, not bad. All right, well, that will lower your DC. All right, give us an estimate and roll your D20.
I think it. 301.
301. All right, roll a
One
D20.
D20.
1D20.
12.
Again, you're getting some smart stuff there. I could see all your wheels working, kid, but that is not quite right.
Okay. One more guess.
One more guess. That's one more silver.
I would also like to try on that.
One more silver each.
Can I
Okay.
can I grab it and shake it a bit? Is that okay to do?
Yes, you may. You grab it and shake it.
Grab and kinda-
Roll me a investigation check.
Oof.
Again, it's enough to pack it so they're barely moving on the inside.
Sorry.
While Kaizen and Shivari are thinking and guessing, Leonhardt walks to the nut vendor, or the nut shaker, whatever you want to call it. Hands him over one silver piece, and then just whispers him into his ear.
You're just going for a Hail Mary?
Yep.
Oh, please. I hope
And
you
I'm
get
gonna
it
whisper
right.
you the number, Tetcher.
Okay. Can you do it? Can you do it? Is anyone watching the stream right now from in this call?
I'm watching, yes.
Anyone else? No?
Yeah, I can
watching
turn it
or just
off.
the
I
chat?
was watching chat.
I
I'm
just
watching the
have chat
chat.
open.
Okay, I'm gonna do this, and then Kendrick, could you whisper the camera? So whisper cam H, and then I'm gonna clear the chat so it moves off screen after you've whispered, just so the audience can see what you.
So
put.
how do I whisper Cam H?
Wild Fury, thank you very much for the donation there. You whisper just /W space ca, and then it will come up with cam H. You select that, and then you type in your number.
Okay.
And then and then you could whisper roll me a d20, which you do.
It's just /W Cam,
Yes, and it will have cam H as the name of the account.
because it only says Cam, and then I press return nothing, no Cam H.
Really?
Or something.
It
Yeah.
should.
No.
Hang on,
Just-
let me
There's
try.
only Christopher and Cam, but I guess that would be the person,
Cam.
right?
Yeah, it is Cam. Sorry, it's because it only gets
Okay.
the first names.
Good.
All right, and then
And then I roll you. I tell you the number, right?
you can write the number in, but then also to whisper a roll, you do that /
Oh, I'm not rolling anything. I'm just going with that
Yes,
number.
but you still have to roll the d20 to see if you get it.
Ah, okay. I see.
Yes. So for starters, thank you for the
then a
subscription.
roll.
Dracody spells a scam. So for starters, do your number. Okay. And
And
then to whisper roll, do you have any stats that are 0 modifiers? We could do it that way.
Yes.
Okay. So I believe you have query whisper on.
Yep.
So just whisper me, roll that stat, and query a whisper. And then I will clear the chat.
I hope that worked.
It did. Alright, the audience did not see that, so hang on, let me clear the chat with a good solid QWERTY. Oh, it's going to take a really long time. Blah, 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 done. Chat's beautiful. It's wonderful. Alrighty, so with that roll, he looks at you, just goes, "Ooh, good guess there, friend, but I'm afraid not."
With a disappointed sigh, Leonhard walks back.
Alright. I think I was a little too low last time, so 342.
Okay, do your d20. Again, you're little too far off. I'm sorry.
Okay. One more guess. I think. Chivalry,
This is the campaign now.
He thought it
I
was
want
more.
these shoes, man.
Okay, 398.
398. Okay.
It's 14.
Oh, that's not it. You're getting closer, but that's a no.
Hey, Leonhard.
Mm,
Hey, Leo. Hey, Leo. Hey, Leo.
Yes.
Hey, Leo. Oh, good. I thought you couldn't hear me for a second. Emmy used to get really mad when I would take her shoes without asking. Do you think this guy would get mad if I would took his shoes without asking?
Are you referring to the green shoes being displayed there?
Yeah.
Now, you do know how these games work, Woof, don't you?
No. Kinda. You do a thing and you get stuff.
Now, what would you think if someone tossed a stick and someone else decided that stick looked so nice that they would just take it away from you without you infecting
Oh,
it?
that's my stick. I wouldn't like that.
I think so. And we have an even more grave problem here, Woof. If you decided to catch or to take away this man's stick, it would also break the law. And I would probably have to arrest you.
Oh, I don't want to break anything, but I do like resting. Okay, I won't take the shoes.
Yeah. So, you can. Do any of you want another go?
No. Dakota does. Woof does not. He's not good at counting.
I take the in mind. Guys, good. Yes. 362.
So you put down another silver.
Yes.
Okay, one more roll.
Give us the shoes!
You're consistent. Ooh, that's not it there, miss, I'm afraid.
How long will you be here? How long do we have?
Oh, I'm here until midnight, and that's when I empty out the nut.
Okay. What time is it right now?
It's approaching 8 p.m., so maybe 7:30.
I'll think on this and come back later.
Kaizen, do you remember what your last guess was?
301.
What was it? 301? That was one of them, yeah. Maybe it was that one.
I think
Okay.
your last guess-
I think it was like 390
Oh no,
or
398.
something. Yeah. Sounds about right.
Okay. Alrighty then. Ugh. Wild Fury donated, so a random citizen walks up, whose name just so happens to be Wild Fury. Wanders up wearing orange robes. Looks about 16ish. Heads up and puts down a silver. I'm just gonna let Wild Fury put in a number and then just roll a d20 for him, just see if this random citizen wins. Let's see what happens. Won't be doing this often. This was just fun. This is a party episode. We can have a little bit of messing around. There is a 20-second delay though, so rip there. We have to wait for one for you to type something.
I want those shoes, damn it!
You can pay it, have a go.
Leonardo's gonna ask Woof, Woof, tell me, I didn't expect you to be so keen on those shoes. Aren't you normally attracted to more natural things?
Yeah, usually, but when I step on the ground without my shoes on now, it hurts, and those are fancy looking, and I want to look fancy too.
You see
I wanna get
the
fancy
orange
as
dress.
Emmy.
You see the orange dressed person walk off unsuccessful in their guess.
Aww. Good try, friend. We're in the same boat.
Can Leonard tell if Woof, if these shoes would actually fit Woof?
They definitely look a little too small for Woof.
Aww, what? How could you debate me like that?
Now,
I'm
I do
not.
not want to crush your dreams and hopes, Woof, but I think that... Yeah, sorry.
Just quickly, Shivari, I would say probably you would know. Actually, no, Kaisan, you would know. Due to magic being a slightly more common part of Elvish society, that magic items change size to fit their wearer.
Alright, but Leonard doesn't know their magic, so...
Yes, Kaisan would, because he would recognize these shoes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hate to crush your dreams and hopes, Woof, but I think these shoes might be a little bit too small for your feet.
Oh. Okay, I guess I'll go play another game.
Hey, woof. Woof, woof, woof.
No, yeah! Yeah.
Yeah, if I am correct, these shoes, they are of magical nature, and it does not matter if they appear too small because they will change size to fit you if you were to try to put them on. I've seen some of these before, or at least ones like it.
I'm gonna walk back up to the table.
Looking for one more go, friend?
What was the last number that my friend said?
Shivari?
I don't remember. 362, I think?
I think that was it. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Okay, 2. I know that. 363.
I would
writing
appreciate
it.
it if you real life picked another number, because otherwise it would mean Shivari was within the other winning ratios. So if we could
363 plus 4 plus 4.
I'll do. Okay. If anyone was close enough, then whatever. Either way, no dice. Sorry.
363 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4.
Well, you're
That is a
within.
good
Well,
guess.
you're within the. You're within 10-ish. Here's one of your silver back. Here's double your money back.
363 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4.
Okay, so you've actually lowered the DC here because you got within 10, but that's still a fail.
363 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4.
Alright, this is your last chance because I'm not letting you waste all your money here. I've seen people like you before and they become destitute. Also, still no.
At this point, Shivari has a little notebook out and is just writing stuff down, writing numbers down.
So much commitment to this. Alright, you group are getting a little bit insane. Other people need to go as well. You get one communal guess between you all left if you want.
What was your guess that was close? Oof.
363 plus 20, because that's 4 times 5. So, 383.
Alright. Let's do 3. 388.
Alright, I'm adding all of your modifiers together here. All the clues you've got. Make a d20.
18.
That's right. He looks shocked at the jar in his hands. He puts it down, turns around, picks up the shoes, and goes, "Well done. Here you go." Looks really reluctant to hand over these shoes.
Oh,
Wolf, you can take them.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much! And I'm gonna run over and
Alright.
give her
You
a
have
big
some,
hug and lick her in the face.
Oh. You're welcome. I mean, it was a group effort, you know.
It was very much a group effort.
That was good. That was good. Good job, Chevalier.
I spent like a
Very-
gold and a
very
half on
smart.
this stupid game.
That's still significantly less than the actual item is worth. Although you currently would not know what the item is.
Put on my shoes, my fancy elf shoes.
You put on your shoes. Now you know what they are. They do not require attunement. These are boots of elven kind. While you wear these, your footsteps make no sound, regardless of the surface you move across. You also have advantage on stealth checks that rely on moving silently.
Nice.
As you look away, you can see the guy. He looks back round, gets out a much smaller prize now. It appears to be some kind of small crystal orb. Places it on, opens up the jar, and begins doing something with it, attempting to remain hidden.
Alright, guys, I want that ball now.
Kaisan, what's your passive perception again?
15.
Okay, you don't see what he's doing with the jar.
I am done with the jar. I got the boots. I am quite happy. I am just as snazzy as the rest of the animals. What else is there to do?
There was an
Remember,
arch.
kids, if you bully your DM, you can always get what you want.
You mean if you spam the system, you can get what you want? I believe there's a phrase called sunken cost fallacy.
What are you talking about? Shadafari was doing that the entire time.
Alrighty, so
You all want to check out the archery game? I myself maybe would like to take an attempt at it.
That sounds fun. I'm not good at archery, but I cheer for you.
Maybe you can try.
you guys make your way over, you can see it's a long line, a small table with bows and very blunt-looking arrows. And you can see small targets and also like stacks of blocks of wood set up as well to try and knock down. Load of kids are lined up. There's a couple adults taking a go. You can see a group of drunk teenagers at the end, where one of them pulls back this tiny bow, takes the shot, and he's so out of it at this point that it pings off one of the wooden blocks. The top wooden block falls over, and he doesn't even realize that. Puts it down, and is very surprised when he is given a copper piece.
Oh boy, that looks fun. They look like they're having a good time.
You head over. There's an empty spot where you can see the guy. After a guy walks up to you and goes, he's a much older looking human. You can see he's actually got a couple scars across him. His hair is graying. A couple scars. You can see a scar on his hand where it's clearly been cut by a knife. A couple scars across the arms as well, look like thorns or something like that. This guy looks like a hunter. He steps up and goes, you want to go, do you?
I would like to make an attempt.
Well,
I want to go. Where are we going?
Well, if you want to go as well, it's 2 copper to enter. You get 6.
Okay.
You get 6 arrows. And those 6 arrows, if you can knock down the blocks, then you win back your 2 silver. If you can score if you can score at least 2 out from the center of the target on the target, you get 2 silver back. If you can do both, you get 4. If you can do both, you get 4 silver. If you can knock down all the targets and get a bullseye, then you're going to win the communal pot, as he gestures towards a large sack of gold that's accumulated. You can see he's taking 1 silver from each person, for putting it in the bag, and taking the other silver for himself.
How much is in the communal pot at this time?
He glances over and
Right.
yells over at At the also very middle-aged looking woman who's sitting next to the sack. Hey Margaret, how much is in the pot? About 350 gold. About 350 gold.
So I need to knock down all the blocks and hit the bullseye?
If you want the pot.
In
Otherwise, you can
6
easily double your
items.
money if you can knock down the blocks and get within near center of the bullseye.
Okay. And the participants have to use that bow?
First, he looks at the bow on your back. For safety reasons, I'm gonna say yes.
Alright, okay.
Alright.
Yes, I will take an attempt.
Alright.
And how much was
2
it?
silver.
Silver? Okay.
Anyone else want to go as well at the same time?
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, 2 silver.
Shibari is still writing in her notebook.
Leonhard?
Why not? You'll give it a shot.
You've
looking for
three all friends?
Haha.
Well, if you tell you what, if you want to
Yeah.
make it interesting, then instead of putting your money in the pot, unless of course any of you win the pot, then how about we collect the 3 silver and whoever gets the highest score gets that 3 silver.
Oh, that sounds so fun. Then it's like a competition.
A man of my caliber does not go for a measly sum like this. The pot it is, good sir.
Alright.
I would agree.
Alright.
I'll bet you a silver. Okay, nobody wants. Okay, I'll bet myself a silver.
You're betting me a silver.
I'll bet you a silver. Yeah.
You already
okay.
are.
Oh wow!
He takes your money. Alright, he takes all of your money, 2 silver each, except for Shivari. So, for the sake of convenience, you guys know how to drag in weapons from the compendium?
Yes.
I
figure
think
it
so,
out.
yes.
Okay. For the sake of, if you could all drag in a short bow for me, if you do not already have one,
Okay.
and then
Yep.
remove proficiency.
Okay.
If you click the cog on the side of the weapon, there will be a little box that says Prof. Unclick that, as you are not proficient in tiny toy bows.
Fair enough.
Even you, Kaisan.
Oop, that's
Yeah.
This is way more than anything you've used since you were a child.
How do you draw it in again?
If you hit the eye at the top,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
type
I
in
got
short-
the short bow
type
already,
in
but when I
short
draw
bow.
it into my spreadsheet, nothing happens.
you're probably dragging in proficiency. Look for the one under items.
Oh, yes, you're right. So smart. There we go.
Predictions. So yeah, and then once it's in there, you hit the little cog
Mhm.
and unselect the Prof of shortbow.
Alright, now. Question. Does
Answer.
my fighting style archery work with it? Because plus 2
This
bonus
would,
check
yes.
you make with a ranged weapon. Okay.
Is that for damage or to the attack?
To the attack.
All right. Well, you're going to have an advantage here, unsurprisingly. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Everyone set up. Everyone got their short bow with no proficiency.
Yep.
Yep.
I assume you've set up your archery for this, Kaizen.
What was that?
I assume you set up the +2 from archery style, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yes, Kaizen is proficient with a bow, but not a child-sized bow.
Right.
All right. So everyone sets. Everyone sets up. What we're gonna do is we're literally just gonna go. There's 6 shots each. We're gonna go one at a time. So
Okay.
as you all pull back on your tiny, less than a foot, less than 12 inches tall bows, and take your shots. Make me a bow attack. $19, 7.
Dude, 19 is legit already.
19 is legit. Woof also doing okay. As Kaizan, where are you? For starters, where are you guys? I assume you're going to do blocks first.
Yeah.
We'll call blocks first. Kaizan's able to topple at least 3 of the 6 blocks in a single shot. Woof, you're also able to topple 2 blocks. Leonhard, yours hits harmlessly against the back of the tent. Alright, shot 2.
Okay.
All right.
This time, Leonhardt takes down two of the blocks on his stack as Kaizan's again hits the back of the tent. Woofs goes into the floor about 1.5 feet from where Woof is standing.
I think my stick is broken.
All right, shot 3. Oh, snap. With that,
Holy.
Leonhardt, you're down to only 2 blocks as Kaizan and Woof's blocks fall to the floor. All the blocks
Alright.
knocked down. Alright, 3 shots left.
Nice.
So there's the bullseye now?
You're aiming for the center of the target.
Alright.
Alright. Woof, you hit the target, but it's very far on the outside. Kaizan, you're close to the center. You've made 4 gold at this point, 4 silver at this point, but you're not on the bullseye. Leonhardt, again, into the back of the tent. 5th shot. 2 shots left.
This is so exciting. Like in my
Okay,
heart, I'm just
okay.
like.
Oh my god.
Kaizan, you hit the board, but it's not even in the actual target area. It's just the wood backboard of it. Woof, the tent is becoming a porcupine. Leonhardt, you do hit the blocks. You have 1 block left, though. It was not a good hit. You have 1 arrow left each.
Alright.
Alright, we got this, guys.
Kaizan carefully takes aim. At the
Almost a
center.
nat 20. Man. What for the 2?
This arrow looks really delicious, actually.
Woof, roll me a d2.
That was my
Oh,
roll.
God.
Oh, damn.
Eh.
2. Okay. Alrighty. So whatever is about to happen is going to affect Kaizan. As your shot goes off to the side and collides with Kaizan's arrow. Now roll me a d20. Below
Oh,
10 is
God.
going to negatively. If actually you did a d2 again. Below a 1 is a negative effect, a 2 is a positive.
Oh no!
It's a positive effect. Kaizan, you have advantage. You may take one. You may
Oh,
make
man.
1 attack as Woof's arrow is so off target. It hits yours, potentially correcting the trajectory. Trajectory, I guess that would be. It doesn't. It's still a 22 though. It's not on the bullseye. No, wait, no, it is bullseye. Sorry, it's above 20. Into the bullseye of the target.
What
As
the
Kaizan
hell?
like snaps, looks over to Wolf, and then looks at that. Somehow that worked out.
Yeah, Leonhardt, yours also did. Were you aiming at the target or at your last remaining block?
I was aiming at the last block.
Okay, that last block is decimated. The arrow actually, despite being blunted, goes into the block and takes it out with it. The target remains unpeppered, though. As the guy looks and goes, well done, ladies and gentlemen, we have a grand prize winner. What's your name, young lad?
Kaizan.
Kaizan, well, here you go. He hands over to you a about your torso-sized sack of silver. It's not even gold, it's all silver. As he hands this over to you. You have, if you were to take the time to count it out for the sake of brevity, and this is a fun game, we're going to not make you do that. You have 386 gold worth of silver.
Oof.
So 3,600 and... Hang on. Yeah, 3,680... Wait, this is hard. Maths is hard. I can't do this.
Yeah, 3,280 silver.
Yeah. So you have a lot of silver.
Apparently that weighs a lot.
It's real heavy. Yeah, you would not be able to fight holding this. You need to find somewhere to change that up.
Oof, I guess your arrow at the end helped me, so you want some of this? Some of the shinies?
I always like shinies, yeah.
Yeah,
Those
this
heavy.
is,
You want me to carry it for
yeah,
you?
you are definitely stronger than I, so we can convert it into the higher costing shinies, and then we can split them up between us.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Oh boy, I like high
Alright.
shinies.
So Wolf's holding the silver sack for the moment, just for
Yeah.
convenience. Alright, out of interest, I'm going to commandeer someone's character sheet quickly, just so I can work out how much this actually weighs. Wolf, I'm stealing yours very quickly.
Okay.
Okay, so you currently have 110
73
pounds.
pounds.
50, 73 pounds, you just do it.
Yeah. So,
So 73
74
pounds.
pounds.
So worth of silver. It's heavy.
Look, a dog's worth of silver here, guys.
Alrighty. Okay, so where are you heading next? There's the more stage-like area further ahead, if you wish to head in that direction, or you can spend some more time around this area. You can see a couple people around this area. Now you've moved further in, you can see that there appears to be some kind of fortune teller. There's a couple stalls selling miscellaneous knickknacks and jewelries and stuff like that. Or do you want to move on?
I want to go look at. Are the knickknacks like shiny?
Oh, they're all
Something I
shiny.
can, like put on my tag. Okay, I want to go look over there.
Okay, it's a general jewelry shop. Nothing immediately jumps out. It's all just nice jewelry.
Oh. Okay, I don't want that.
Okay.
I thought it was like a shiny piece of plastic or something. Like I would be all over that. One moment, my dog is yelling at a squirrel.
Alrighty, no worries. Okay, so what's everyone's plan? Do they want to move on?
Yeah, Leonhard is slowly but surely getting a little bored of the plebeian games in here, and is trying to make his way over to the fancier part of the party, like the VIP section.
Okay, that would be past the stage area. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right, you move on in that direction. As the rest of you follow.
And I'm just gonna tell the others, like, I'm gonna have a conversation with the Baron and the other important folk of town. Feel free to join me, friends. But if you want to spend your time more in this area, then you're of course more than welcome to do that as well.
I want to go see what's up on the stage.
All right, so we'll say you're all heading in that direction unless anyone tells me otherwise now.
Alright, we'll
No,
go
not
with
unless there's
Leon.
something super interesting.
Okay. All right, so everyone heads up towards the stage area. Leonhardt, you begin to keep walking forward, but then you do hear the Baron's voice coming from the stage.
Mm-hmm.
As you glance up in that direction, he goes, you can see that he is announcing to the crowd. He's wearing very fine robes, not wearing his armor today, but he's gesticulating out towards a very happy-looking audience and goes, "And for tonight's entertainment, of course, we will be starting off with the Duel of Wits, the Battle of Words, where we will have the world-famous Insult Wars!" As the Chow gives a mighty way to it. Followed after this will be the new tradition just recently revived after the puking incidents. We have the return of our eating contest. Woo! Crowd celebrating. And after that, we will have a short musical interlude before the main event. But first, as is tradition for a Baron, who wishes to step up to the stage and take me on in a duel of insults? That does not sound like anyone from this group is willing to have a go.
I'm too nice. Like I want to go up there and like insult, but I'd be like, "Oh yeah, well, your clothes look silly."
Oh, this is where we have to. This is where we have to bring up all the Monkey Island cursing that was going on.
Oh yeah.
They had the same thing there.
Forgot about that.
Leonard would probably also not be very good and keen on that because it's, foul language and stuff like that. So he would be like, ooh.
Fair enough. As you see a random audience member put his hand up, he gestures them. There's a small cheer from the audience as this what looks like to be a halfling comes up to the stage. He's helped up by one of the guards, grinning sheepishly, and he goes, "Now, sir, now, there is no hard feelings here. It's gonna be all about the fun. Nothing personal will be taken. We have one rule, and that is keep it safe for work, as there are children watching." The audience laughs, and a child boos from the back. And now,
is there anything to be won? For this?
If there was something announced, you missed it at the start.
Okay.
All right. You see You see the insult battle starting. It is back and forth where the short jokes are busted out first, with Baron Cadred coming out and saying, "You're so short that the last time there was a head count, someone thought you were too rude to be counted." There's a solid ooh from the chat. The halfling responds with, "Baron Cadred, more about Baron can't read." Oh, chat. It goes back and forth for a while until the halfling graciously admits defeat and steps off the stage for a round of applause. And the Baron steps up and goes, Will anyone else take on the challenge? Or can I go for a drink? Remember, winner gets a knighthood."
Is it a group
Whoa.
of that are having a good time?
Okay, wait a minute.
I'll put my hand up if the crowd looks like they're having fun. If it looks like everybody's having a good time, then I want to help have fun.
How far is it to our quarters, or to where we started? Where we slept.
If you're looking for where I think you are, he's nearby. He's been following you at a distance, waiting to see if you need anything. Along with the
Okay,
rest of your retainers, except for Adalbert, who you sent home.
Mm-hmm. So Leonhard, after he hears that the winner gets a knighthood, he immediately raises his hand and shouts, "Over here, Baron! Over here, good sir!"
"Ah, Sir Leonhard! Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Leonhard, Wolf Kaiser, and Shivari, the reason we are having this party. Perhaps," it looks at you and Wolf with both of hands up, "are perhaps you both interested in taking me on?"
Leonhard, yeah, we could tag team him.
Let's do this, Wolf.
Alright, so you're both going up? Okay. Alright, you both step up to the stage. There's a round of applause, just like, yay! Everyone quite happy to do so. Alright. You step up to the stage and it goes, "Once again, from Homeland Security, Sir Leonhard von Griever, hero of our town, and of course, another hero in his own might. He's as strong as an ox, and as loyal as a retriever. It's Woof!" And the crowd lets out a mighty cheer. Well then. Once again, the challenge is to insult into submission. The crowd reaction. Better your objective is. If I can't beat it, then well, you claim victory. As is customary, if you wish, you may choose to go second or first.
I shall go second, Baron.
Would you like that? As a question, is this a 2 versus 1 deal, or is this a 3-way?
Are we just insulting everybody in a triangle?
If that's what you want.
No, I like Leonhard.
Well, then this is both of you against me. You will take it in turns to come up with an insult against me. For your guys' benefit, for the description of this man. He has long brunette hair coming down to just below his shoulders, a goatee style beard, Quite small, relatively small ears. He's wearing very nice finery. He is muscular, but not to the point of bodybuilding style. And well, you know what he sounds like. His clothes do look very fancy, almost into wizard robes, but not quite. We're in that area.
Okay.
Alrighty.
He's got a small beard, you say, right?
He has a small goatee style beard, yeah.
Okay.
For those who haven't worked it out, I'm describing Matthew Mercer.
Well, now we're in trouble, Wolf.
Alright, so me first then. Alright. Well then. I heard a rumor that you in fact did not defeat the hag with sword and blade and arrow, but in fact all she did was see your ugly faces and she keeled over dead. So you hear the crowd go, "Oh!" from the background. Now, who's first?
Well, Leonhard looks at the Baron, and just measures him from top to bottom, and says, "Well, the hag may have died from looking at our looks, but looking at your beard, good Baron, I guess that proves that even the gods are not without faults."
Roll me an intimidation check. Oof, it's good. It definitely beats the previous attempt. As he steps back dramatically as if wounded, just like, "Oh, you insult my facial hair, good sir. Quite frankly, I don't know if that's fair, but it looks like you may have sacrificed any chance of a beard in your life for that wonderful hair, and yet it was pointless." Alright, he rolls high enough to keep it going. Wolf's turn.
So was he saying that to Wolf or to Leonhard?
To Leonhard.
Okay.
He's basically responding to the last person who spoke.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, your nose is so big that you could probably smell better than me, and I used to be a dog.
What? Roll intimidation with disadvantage? Alright, Wolf immediately is like, there's a polite, confused smattering of applause, just like, "Used to be a dog?"
Kaiser like starts to clap and like nobody really else is, and he's like, "Ah."
Wolf is gestured off the stage. There's a polite round of applause. Once again, Wolf, everybody!
I thought it was good.
Very good attempt, Wolf. You did well.
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, I thought it was funny, but I guess they don't know that you were dogs, so, But we know that, It was inside
That
joke.
face is stupid anyway.
You should have said that one.
That's the 18 from the disadvantage. Alright, he turns back to Leonhard.
Well,
Now I
good
believe
Baron, brains aren't everything, and in your case, they're nothing.
No!
Roll it. It's good enough, staying in the game. He turns around, mockily wounded once again, putting on a performance and a show for the audience. "My brain may be nothing, but at least I didn't have to go and meet a wizard in an Emerald City to find one. And at least, well, when it comes to compensating, you have a peacock on your shield." That's low. That was a stretch. He barely makes it though.
Good Baron, speaking of peacocks, I would indeed slap you for this offense, but that would be animal abuse.
Bring it in. Bring it in. Oof. He reels back, just oh! Might I fall this day? To a member of Homeland Security, no less. Homeland Security, who are so good protecting their own city that they've had to flee to here.
Ooh.
Homeland Security.
That's a nat 20. You're at disadvantage on this next one.
Oh shoot. Oh shoot. Yes, Homeland Security fighting crime, and if being ugly were a crime, you'd get a life sentence.
Ah!
Disadvantage.
Damn
You
it.
got this. I believe in you.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's a round of applause. People like it, but it's not enough to beat his. He takes the mock wound, but then makes a dramatic mime sword swipe at you to see if you'll play along.
It's obvious that he's he's just miming, right?
He's not even there's no sword in his hand.
Oh,
It's
okay,
straight
okay.
mime.
I mean, Leonhard being a man of court and, kind of knowing these duels and knowing the rules and his status, he's just playing along. He's just
Okay.
like dropping to the floor dramatically as if he was mortally stabbed and is like, mercy, have mercy, good Baron.
We have a winner has decided. I remain undefeated. But he goes down to one knee himself, grabs your hand and lifts you up, lifting both your hands up in the air. Sir Leonhard, savior of our city, everyone! There's a huge round of applause here as everyone claps you off the stage. He claps you on the back. I'll see you at the main party later on. I have to open the eating contest. I don't know if you'll want to enter into that. We have some very nice food in the tent, if not.
Oh, I'm really good at this.
Nice.
I thought you did really good, Lee, and I thought you were better, but the other people didn't think so. But they're probably not as smart as you.
Thank you, Woof. And he leans over to Woof and just whispers, I let him win.
I thought so.
The guy actually walks past. Hang on, wait, roll stealth. Let's see how well the whisper went. See if his passive perception picks up.
Stealth, my specialty.
Do you want my boots? You don't have to roll for disadvantage, I don't think, because you're not clanking.
Yeah, you're not clanking, so you're good. 18? Yeah, he does not hear you as he as he walks past.
Good.
Oh dear. Alrighty, so he steps back up to the stage and goes, now, who will enter into the first inaugural return of the pie eating contest?
I like to eat pie.
Hey, Wolf, I think you would be very good at this.
Could Emmy enter too? She's really good at eating things.
You can see that there are people taking down names at the front of the stage as people come forward to enter in.
I don't know if Emmy would be allowed, but you can ask. There's no harm in asking.
I'm gonna walk. Can me and Emmy enter in, please?
You walk up. I don't. Emmy, which one's Emmy? Looks at your friends
That's
around
Emmy.
you. That? I mean, at this point, Baron Cadred leans down. Of course she can enter. Of course. It'll be adorable. We have more than enough pies to spare. All right. Any of the rest of you want to enter and eat some delicious foods?
No.
Yeah,
All right.
Leonhard, now that we have entered this fancy part of the party, he's just trying to find a nice spot from where as many people, or as many important people as possible, can spot him and can see, his fancy chain mail and the white.
All right. Well, you're actually allowed up on stage to support Woof right now if you want to, so you can literally be within view of everyone if you wanted to.
No, because the eating contest would probably get very messy with pie flying around.
A fair
and-
assumption.
Yep. So he would probably stand somewhere, maybe next to the regular food and drinks, and so people pass by, and he's just trying to look important.
Okay. Fair enough. This reminds me of one thing, because, Dakota, you're going to have to roll for Emmy. So 1 second.
Oh, I mean, you just already her delightful little character token.
Oh, I have not added that.
Oh.
But I can, right now.
Ah.
Can you resend that to me in this chat?
Mhm.
If it isn't already in this chat?
Yeah, it's in the HTC chat, but I'll put it back in.
Wonderful. That way I don't have to scroll up or down or something.
Sure. I'll send you Carol too.
Thanking you.
Alright. Which
Okay.
D&D folder is it in?
Is it Emmy with one M or two M's?
With 2 M's.
Thanking you. Okay. That should be mostly good. Just making sure that everything is correct on the sheet, and then I'll send it your way. Yeah, sorry for the delay, everyone. There's
No
Emmy.
problem.
Right click. Open
Thanks for
link.
hanging out with us. It's been so much fun.
Indeed. Thank you, audience, for showing up. We apologize that we are a week late. This is my B. All right. So I just need to make sure that everything is correct on the sheet. 'Cause I've had to make this sheet because I can't give you full dog stats.
Yeah, because she's an infinity puppy.
Mm-hmm.
Her
If you
AC
say
and her hit
so.
points are infinity.
If you say so.
Kill my dog, then I actually won't talk to you ever again.
That would be an understandable response, to be fair. But can't help with that. Alrighty, and it's just that, and then the token. Yeah, I did not expect this to be a thing. Alright, so it's only going to do that for now, because it's a low level. Okay. Cool, and then just token. Edit. Find where I put the token. Where did that save to? Here? Ah, excellent. Actually the right place for once. Ah, nuts. Did it wrong. And then almost just uploading the avatar. Cool. And in players' journals, everyone's can be edited and controlled by Woof. There you go. You have an Emmy sheet.
Yay!
Sweet.
Cool. So that way you're going to need that for stat rolls.
Okay.
Oh wait, something is wrong. Sorry, made one thing incorrect. And that is not supposed to be there. Okay, done. Alrighty. So you two step up. Yes, Leonhard, where are you going to position yourself?
Next to like where all the food and drinks are at. Just holding getting one of the slaves in there and just grabbing a cup of wine or whatever they're offering and just trying to look like really, really cool, really important.
Make a
Next to the food
check.
and drinks.
Also, again, servants as opposed to the alternative in this area.
Yep.
So yeah, make a performance check to look cool.
All right.
Leonhardt leans up against one of the arms for one of the leans up against one of the tents, wine in hand, looking cool. As the tent leg snaps and Leonhardt goes just off screen, disappears behind a bench, comes back up covered in wine.
Oh my god.
You've been rolling quite well tonight. I guess this is the karma.
Does Shavari
Yeah.
see this happen?
Did I spill wine all over?
Oh yes, you are covered in wine.
Does Shavari see this happen?
I mean, roll perception. Why not? Let's see. 10 or above. No, you don't. Buddy does. As Buddy runs up towards you. Sir Leonhardt, are you okay?
In those war movies, Hollywood, when a grenade impacts and everybody just has this ring in their ear in
Yeah,
slow motion.
that's what you have.
That's what Leonhardt is currently suffering from. Like he gets up, sees the red wine all over his pretty tabard, his white chainmail, and he's like has this ring in his ear, and he looks around him, and every people are looking at him, and he's like, Shavari, He's
Okay,
like,
that you can hear.
Uh,
You look
oh,
away from the stage where
uh,
Woof is climbing up, and you see Leonhardt's
good luck,
hair
Woof.
has
I'm gonna
become
go
a
help-
mixture of
yeah.
red and brown from the wine soaking into it. His white chainmail isn't stained, but it looks like he's almost been shot as it's covered in this red liquid.
Woof, good luck. I'm gonna go help Leon really quick. I'll go over and
Okay.
do my best to try and help clean him up with prestidigitation.
Okay. Alright, you go and start sorting that out. Guys, then what are you doing while this is going on before we jump to eating contest? Unless you want to take part in that.
No, Kaizen's just hard chilling.
Hard chilling. I mean, you can
Hard
see
chilling.
someone. You can see someone in the off to the side that is manning a herb store. If you were interested, I don't know exactly if that is something
yeah.
Kaizen would be into.
Yeah, Kaizen would check it out.
Okay.
Not during the contest, but I guess before the contest. When the contest starts, then you watch.
There's some relaxing herbs to smoke for about 2 gold apiece.
Ah!
Okay. Kaizen will buy some of those.
Okay. How many are you getting?
3.
3. All right. Okay. So, let me know when you have one.
Okay.
Alrighty. So in the meantime, Woof and Emmy are set up. Roll an animal handling check for Emmy to try and make her sit in a chair.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's not enough, but you're able to make her stay at least, and the stuff's brought out to the floor. As I said, pie eating contest earlier. It's just general eating contest. All right. A new judge has come out now. You can see the Baron is currently has moved off towards one of the more expensive tents. He just misses spotting Leonhardt on the way past, which is in this case lucky, I guess. As he heads off, the new judge comes out. And now, the first round of the return of our eating contest. The first and potentially riskiest round, the dairy round, as a big wheel of cheese is brought out for everyone and is set on plates before them. For everyone. Alright, these are at least 6 inches across and about 3 inches tall. So, on your marks, you have to eat everything before you move on. On your marks, get set, go. Make me a Constitution saving throw
Okay.
as you begin to eat. And
is it
one
about,
for Emmy as well.
Who can eat as fast, or
No, it is about who can. It's about who can eat it. There is a timer for each
Okay.
round. If you do not meet the timer, then you are removed. You basically
Right.
you lose if you don't meet the timer, give up, or puke. That is how
Emmy
you
is
lose.
ready to eat this cheese.
Yes. Obviously, if you eat
Fine.
faster, you have more time to relax before the next one. Emmy
Holy crap!
doesn't even notice there is a wax coating on the cheese and eats that and all and just scoffs it down. Woof,
Holy crap.
you're also able to make it through the cheese. You do notice the wax coating and peel it off. You give it a taste, and it's just like, not very nice. But you're able to eat the cheese. The way this is going to work is the way it's going to work is the DC is going to increase every round. Is how we are doing it. Natural 20 though, Emmy has advantage on the next round.
Okay.
All right. As the cheese is finished, you can see a couple people already struggling, like not looking comfy. As you're waiting for other people to finish, a barmaid comes up to you and goes, "Would you like the choice of water, ale, or milk?"
Water, please.
Of course.
Unless Emmy wants to.
All right. A bowl of water is placed down for Emmy, which she proceeds to drink from. All right. You can see one person goes for milk and immediately chucks, making a really poor life choice in terms of eating contest drinks after an entire wheel of cheese. As a
Feel
couple
better,
people led off.
friend.
Only 2 or 3 people are led off as they move on. It goes, "Now then, this is no easy meal. You will not be eating in the normal order, for it is time for... He raises both hands dramatically for the pastry round. As out comes what looks almost like churros, but quite a bit thicker. There's 3 to each plate, as these are placed before everyone. They are covered in cinnamon and sugar. As these are placed before you. So make me your Constitution saving throws. Emmy at advantage.
Okay. Nice.
22 for you. And Emmy with advantage.
Yep.
15. Still in it. Everyone is fine for the moment. A couple people do once again get eliminated. One person, seeing the sugar and oil looking a bit green from the cheese, just puts his hands up and walks off stage. As you do move on. You're down to about 10 people at this point, including you, well, 9 people and a dog on the stage at this point. As the churros are cleaned up. Moves on and it goes... Now, this wouldn't be a party without meats, of course! A round of applause comes from the crowd, as in comes what appears to be a thick ribeye steak, which is placed in front of everyone. It is about 1.5 inches thick and about 7 inches wide.
Does Wolf get natural advantage on this?
Wolf does not. Wolf is full of cheese and churro.
I'm trying.
Alrighty, roll your saves.
Alrighty.
That's for you.
Yep. Oh no, Emmy!
Emmy is doing so well. She's looking completely fine. But then at the meat, it's too thick for her tiny little puppy mouth to deal with, and she gives up and begins to move over and is now harassing the person who is cleaning up leftovers from other people's plates, and is considered to have walked away and been disqualified. Woof, you are barely in it. Your stomach is feeling full. You're feeling a little rough at this point. You feel right on the cusp of failing, but you're in it. You polish it off and place the plate before you, leaning back. It's down to 3 people right now. You can see yourself, a very large-looking human man wearing a chef's outfit. His hat is currently on the table in front of him, and he is sweating profusely at the amount of meat and cheese and churro he's just had to endure. And one very cheerful looking lady who is looking a little plump as she's just like talking to someone in the audience, just like, this is nothing, I've got 5 kids at home, I've got to feed all of them, and do you think what happens to food when they don't eat it? It's just having a lovely time. As the next round comes up and it goes, now it is time for the surprise drinking round, as a big flagon of ale is placed before everyone. It's a pitcher's worth of ale, basically. You can see the woman is suddenly less sure of herself. The chef is just slowly sipping and trying to get it down. Woof, make your roll. With that, Woof, you try to drink this ale. Ale's not really your thing. You don't enjoy it. You can either I will give you basically a second win style thing here. You can either commit and try and get through it, or give up and save some dignity.
I don't do ale. I'm like, that. Oh no! Wow! That's not food.
All right. With that, you withdraw as it's down to the last 2 people. The woman is getting through it really slowly, as the large chef man finishes his pitcher and places it on the table in front of him. Raises his hands. Looks green. He stops. He's fine. The woman looks over, sees that he has managed it, and just puts down the ale, hands up, just like, oh, I've never been much of a drinker. As the chef takes the prize and is walks away with a small sack of gold for his troubles and a bucket. Alrighty, Shivari, you've made it over to during this you made it over to Leonhardt and has cleaned him up. Leonhardt, you look pretty good. You look much tidier. You're able to re-put your hair in order using your mirror.
Good. Yes, of course. Wouldn't leave without it. Okay. So can Leonhardt assess the dimension of this disaster? Like how many people saw him fall down and spill wine over his body?
I guess this would be an investigation check.
Okay.
Thank you for the sub there, Hula Bonula. Investigation.
Probably doesn't remember it even happened.
There's clearly no evidence of anything that happened, including the completely collapsed tent from where you broke the tent leg while leaning on it. You don't even notice
so
that.
Leonhardt just, just blows a lock of hair out of his face and is like, well, that went well. And it's just continuing as if nothing happened.
All right, Woof rejoins up with you, Kai-san. What are you doing?
Do I find my little bloated puppy?
You do. It is asleep under. You actually have to do. You do have to search for it a bit. It is asleep underneath the table that everyone was eating off. Legs up in the air on its back, just belly to the world. Completely asleep.
Oh, Emmy.
So yeah, Kai-san, what you doing?
Just go up to Wolf. And it was a good attempt, Wolf.
Thank you.
Almost,
If they didn't put the gross stuff down, I might have won.
Yeah, I think they said it was eating contest and then gave you a bunch of ale.
I
don't
know, right?
Yeah, I guess suppose it happens, but I don't know. Still, what did you get? Top 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is good. That is good.
Well, thank you.
Maybe you want to make sure Emmy does not get sick from eating all of that.
Yeah, I got her. Make sure she.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope she's okay. She's probably okay. I was okay.
A loud puppy snore comes from right next to your ear.
She's okay.
Alrighty. I think as you guys begin to make your way further in towards the much nicer looking tent, which actually has tent flaps in front of it, and someone's standing in front of the door, we'll have a quick break.
Nice.
Thank you all very much for watching so far. I hope you've all been enjoying the show. I hope you guys have been enjoying the party. Considering you've had sessions of nearly dying to snakes, nearly dying to ogres, and nearly dying to hags, having a party felt like a good idea.
Yes, thank you. It's been very fun.
I am glad. Alrighty, so as usual for you guys, I will deafen myself on my side so you can chat to each other again. And everyone else, we will head to a break, and when we come back, we will continue as they head into the posh tent. See you all in a moment. Welcome back, everyone.
Oh.
Sorry about the mics not being muted correctly. I muted everyone else's except for mine. Because I forgot. Thought I was being good, but messed it up. But well, we did make it. My apologies again for everyone in the audience, but welcome back. Before the break, party celebrations were had. Leonhard had some wine. And now the group is heading towards a very fancy-looking tent set up in the corner of the festivities right next to the palace gardens. As you get to the door, the guard doesn't even question you. He just lifts the flap and gestures you all in.
Nice. I give him a nod.
As you all step inside. It is really nice. There is a small musical group heading in the corner. There are tabards and tapestries hanging from the edges of the tent. Tables filled with very nice looking food that, Woof, normally you would be excited by, but right now,
My
you're
stomach
good.
hurts.
Excuse me, but yeah, there are people dressed in finery. There's a couple guards around. Everyone is being waited on with wine and ale and whatever they choose. But it mostly just seems to be a nice little socialization area away from the crowds outside. What do you want to do?
Is the Baron in here?
The Baron isn't here. He is sitting up the end of the hall and is having a nice long at the end of the tent, sitting at one of the tables at the end, and is having a nice ale while sitting back. You can see he's changed into a slightly more casual set of clothes here. Still very, very fine, very nice looking, but no longer in his ceremonial celebration robe. He is now just dressed more calmly, so that he feels more comfortable.
Does Leonhard recognize any of the other guests in here, or is it like, whoa, you're standing in the middle of strangers and you only know that guy? You only know the Baron?
Did you go to the magic shop with anyone else at any point?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
well,
the only place I've been to, or Leonhard has been to, was the hairdresser and the armor smith.
okay, the armor smith is here, and he spots you and gives you a nod and like points at your chainmail, gives you a thumbs up. There is the for Shivarian Kaizan. There is the gnome shop owner from the magic shop. Also
Cadbury?
Cadbury, yes. Sitting in he is in a very animated chat while you can see he is moving a couple boxes and giving instructions to people he keep running in and out of the other side of the tent. But is also having a good time as well. He's doing very minimal lifting work, sort of directing other people to it, and on the odd occasion moves a box over to a different pile. Overall, though, you recognize one of the guards. Actually, it's one of the guards on duty is the one who Woof spoke to in the morgue, basically, where asked about the cat.
This is the guy where we bonded over. We both like to curl up next to a fireplace. He's had a rough night.
Yeah, exactly right. That guy. Yeah, those are people all of you would recognize.
Could we go home soon?
Hey, what is wrong?
Wolf,
Don't
this is
feel
where the
good.
best part of the evening starts. Get yourself together.
Okay, Sir Leonhard.
Maybe
By the way,
you
did you
should
bring
go.
Buddy in with you? Or any of
No,
your
of course
other
not.
retainers?
No. Buddy doesn't go in here, and the retainers don't go in here either.
God,
Lena
no.
Lena would have been like, no, this not, no.
Okay.
Crazy ex-girlfriend.
Wolf, if you feel like you need to leave, I can accompany you.
I'll stay for a little bit, but I'll let you know. Thank you, Kaizen. You're very nice.
Yes, I'm not one, generally for things like this, so would not
Me
be a
neither.
detriment to me to leave.
Emma used to shut me in a room when she has stuff like this, and I voiced my displeasure most of the time.
Perhaps you should just sit down a bit,
Yeah,
Rest a
is there a
little.
place to sit?
There are many places to sit.
I'm gonna sit down with my puppy next to me, and we're both just gonna be like, oh my god.
The poses are oddly similar as they both just sort of lounge back, just making grunting noises.
Taking up as much space as possible.
Yeah, you get a couple odd looks from people who come past, but overall people are like, yeah, we get it.
Like some butter or something for your stomach? I can go get you something.
I'm okay, thank you. I'm just gonna sit over here.
Okay.
Thank you,
feel
though.
better.
That's very nice of you. I appreciate your concern.
I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so yeah, what would everyone like to do in the VIP tent?
I guess you know that kind of guy or that kind of friend that as soon as they enter like a cool party and they abandon all their not so cool friends and they just hang out where the cool guys are.
I see where this is
It's
going.
kind of what Leonard is doing. Like he's checking on Wolf if he's okay, but after like confirming that he's not mortally wounded or anything, like Leonhard just says, "All right, friends, enjoy your time. I'm going to spend the night now with people of my caliber," and then just
Oh, okay.
Shavari,
Oh, yes.
and he offers her an arm.
Oh, yes. I'll come with you. Take his arm.
Okay. You guys head off. Kaizan, again. What are you doing? Poor Kaizan.
Kaizan still mask on. Still masquerade mask on. Just sits near Wolf, just kind of observes how people are interacting in this area. It's probably like nicer people here, so just kind of observing their mannerisms, just generally how they're going about things.
Okay, make me a perception check.
Sure.
Actually, I'll, perception or investigation I think is fine for this. You're looking at forced up, but you're looking for fine detail.
Perception.
Alrighty. You're able to see mannerisms, hear the way that they're talking. You're able to get a pretty clear view. Think Elizabethan England is Elizabeth I, not our current Elizabeth. It's very much that kind of thing where it's a very upper class conversation. A lot of people you can tell, I would argue. Like, I assume you have a pretty high insight just passively, just because you have a high wisdom.
Yeah, proficiency insight as well.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, you're able to tell that a lot of people are very slightly emphasizing the well-spokenness of their voice. They're putting on a bit more of an effort to make sure all of their words come out to the greatest of their abilities, and so that they are not considered to be of the lower class. Or it's very much people putting on that kind of public performance kind of thing. But everyone's eating very politely. You can see in front of you on the table there is about 6 forks and 4 spoons and 7 knives in front of every plate, all scattered around. You can see you can see people very as if they know what they're doing, picking up at different forks for different bits of food and working their way through.
Is there anyone else in here wearing a mask?
There's quite a few. There's quite a few people wearing masks. There's a couple sitting, couple people grouped around, sitting a couple seats away from you.
Okay. Kazan will just, at that point, observe what knife they're using for which thing, or what fork they're using. Which
I'm just
soup
like
for which
dead-eyeing
thing.
anyone who comes near us with a mask.
Okay. Then yeah, roll me a perception or investigation for fork usage.
11. It's really confusing.
It's really confusing. You see one guy, he picks up a fork, one of the forks to use on his steak, but the other guy picks up a different fork to use on chicken. Like, you don't get it. They're both protein. What are they doing? It's very
Wolf,
confused.
Do you see this? There's so many utensils. There's what? Why does someone need this many?
I'm gonna sit up and look at them, and these people are weird, right, Kaizen?
There are literally 7 knives for one meal, just one.
The only time I've ever seen a knife is when it was stabbing someone.
Interesting. They do use them to cut food as well.
Oh, well, but it's so much more efficient to just rip and tear, you know? Like,
I mean, in some ways, yes. Other ways, people, our teeth are not quite the same as, dogs. Dogs have better teeth to do that with, to rip and tear. But you just need one knife, not 7.
yeah, that's weird. Like,
I don't know.
These people are weird, Kaizen.
I'm just trying to understand, I guess, but I don't know.
You should take one, and then someone will go, "Oh, where's my not stabbing knife?" And then you'll know what it does.
Oh, maybe so. More so, just I've been looking, but one person used knife to cut steak, another person used different one to cut the chicken. I don't know. Is there a specific chicken cutting knife? It doesn't make sense.
I have never heard of that, but I would be fascinated to learn if there is.
Well.
Are you
Because
going
I
to
just
try and sleight of hand one of their bits of cutlery?
No.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, Leonhard, Shivari, what are you doing?
So, as Leonhard, has got Shivari hooked in his arm. His goal is to go to the Baron, but on his way to the Baron, if there's anyone, greeting him or being like, "Hey, Sir Leonhard," he's just immediately engaging in conversation.
A couple people do actually react to you and go reacting in the way of just like, "I say, aren't you Sir Leonhard von Griever and Shivari, the reason we are having this shindig?"
Well, how kind of you. Is that a man or a woman approaching?
Man. Flip that mental coin.
Well, how kind of you, good sir, to recognize us. Who do we have the honor of meeting?
Well, I appreciate your introduction. I am Lord Aquos. I've run some of the Baron's estate.
Lord Aquas, this is, as you rightfully said already, Shivari, and we owe a great deal of overcoming the goblin threat to her and her formidable skills.
Goblin threat?
The hack threat.
Was there also a goblin threat? I was not aware.
Just one of the many heroic deeds that Shivari and I were able to overcome.
Well, I say, it seems our town owes you a greater debt than I originally thought. Servants! Claps over and someone steps over. Yes, Lord Aquos? Could you please do us a favor and fetch me a wine and fetch these two... He gestures to you questioningly.
Oh, wine is fine. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'll gladly accept the wine.
3 wines as fast as possible, if you see. Don't you see that these are heroes? Go, shoo, shoo. Gestures them off. He runs off and comes back shortly afterwards with wine. So might I ask, what brought such fine heroes to our town?
Well, Sir Lord Aquas, part of my duty as Homeland Security is to guarantee law and order in these lands, and my current mission is to guide these fine people. And he gestures towards Shivari and Kaizen and Wolf further in the back to escort them all the way to home so they will reach it safely. As you surely have heard, there's a pirate and bandit plague roaming these lands.
I have, and I find it so exciting that the Homeland Security would think to send out some of their guard just to help protect our lands despite the issues that the city itself is having. And of course, with the Magical Independence and Liberation Front causing issues, I suppose that would be next on your list, or is perhaps more of a focus being placed on the anti-magic militia?
Well, good lord, my first and utmost priority is to guide Lady Shavari and the others to home. He gives a smile to Shavari and then says, "The rest, we shall then decide. I shall await new orders once we've made it back."
Understandable, a man of duty. I can respect that. And what of you, Miss Shavari? Is your objective purely to get to home? You have been a great service to our land so far. Will that continue?
I mean, my main goal right now is to get to home. I don't know about after that. Maybe we'll see. But yes, my current goal is to go to home.
Of course. I didn't mean to assume any obligations or anything like that, and who am I to pry, in fact?
Good lord. Shavari is a woman of many talents. I'm pretty sure that if she decided to stay a little bit longer in our lands, she would find work and tasks immediately. You should see her. And then he remembers that it's probably not wise to talk about this. You should see her skills when it comes to aiding people in combat, and especially after combat. Her restoration skills, she's very skilled when it comes to make people look good.
Oh, restoration, perhaps. Are you a doctor or a cleric, perhaps?
Not really, no. No, I am not.
No, again, I apologize if I'm asking too many questions. It is far beyond me to pry.
Well, Lord Aquas, Leonhard steps in and says, "Let me just summarize it a little bit. If you're ever in need of a good haircut or have your hair fixed," and he points to his own hair, wings, "Shavari is the woman to seek."
I see. A very useful set of skills amongst the nobles, of course. But it's good to know. Excuse me, my apologies. That is obviously not happening, game. Now tell me, what are your plans after this? Just to continue your journey? Do you plan on staying for the arena tomorrow?
The arena, excuse me, good lord. I haven't heard about the arena events taking place in this town.
Oh, we have a small arena on the outskirts where we have a couple creatures are brought in from the local forests, and well, people fight them for the enjoyment of the audience.
Would Leonhard know if that was legal?
It's not legal to kill monsters. It's not illegal to kill monsters.
Okay.
Beast of burden or a thing. It is by far from illegal.
Well, isn't that interesting, Lord Aquas? Now, beasts, you say, or is there also duels between man and woman happening?
Oh, no duels this time. I believe you would be more interested in heading further to the west if you were interested in that. The northwest, perhaps. Which direction did you come from?
We came from the northwest coast, actually.
Ah, yes. So if you head up in that direction, then you might have passed a certain town that has a spring festival. They usually have duels and matches during that festival. There's several months to go for that, though.
Most intriguing. We shall perhaps stay the night and take a look at this arena and the fighting together. Shivari, what do you think?
It sounds a little brutal, you know?
Oh, it can be very brutal. Last year, someone lost an arm.
Oh, man.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry. I
don't-
did not mean to. I'm sorry. I've been so rude in terms of assuming dispositions or friendly dinner conversation. We can leave this line of conversation if you like.
It's okay. I don't personally understand the enjoyment of, watching something like that. But I'm sure that the town has reasons for it.
Of course, understandable. It's more to show, usually it ends up with groups of guards or passing adventurers. It's reassuring for a lot of people to see such usually large, they pick showy beasts. Seeing them getting taken down by, people who are out there protecting us or adventuring on the behalf of the cities can be reassuring to a lot of people.
Oh, okay. That actually makes sense.
Now, Lord Aqua's, just between the three of us, a man of my caliber has achieved quite a big deal. And many trophies I call my own, many victories I have won. But let me ask you, what is there to be gained, to be won in this arena? Do you know anything by chance?
Well, there is a sizable monetary sum offered by the Baron himself. And then I believe, if I remember correctly, the Baron does offer to grant one wish within his power to the user, to the victoring team. Usually ends up being more money or something like that. We had one person who asked for a homestead, and they were offered such. They were given a very nice house in the city.
Most intriguing. You know what, Lord Aquas? Speaking of the Baron, I feel like I have a word to exchange with him. So if you would excuse us.
Of course, I have taken too much of your time already. It was wonderful to meet you, Sir Leonhardt, and you, Lady Shivari.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you as well. She'll do like a little curtsy thing.
Of course, he gives a very, very polite bow and moves off into the party. A couple other
Right.
people stop you on the way. There's a couple handshakes, much shorter than the previous conversation.
Right.
You do eventually make it to the Baron. Before we jump to that, are Kaisan and Woof up to any more shenanigans? Or just chilling?
Just figuring out which knife goes for which meat.
You can have another perception roll.
Jinx, you're muted.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, now that Kaizen's pointed it out, I'm just super transfixed trying to figure out what the different utensils are for.
Alright.
Like,
Kaizen,
21.
you're starting to get it down. You're starting to work it out. You can tell that there appears to be, for starters, there's the cutlery for different courses. And then for there, it seems to maybe be sorted by consistency? But you still can't work out why there's a different fork and a different knife for chicken and beef. They're similar consistencies. You still don't get it. You're starting to work it out. You even hear one person who is just... You hear one of the people from the group you are nearby. As the waiter comes past, he lifts up and goes, excuse me, sir, could you, get me another poultry piercer, please? This one is dirty.
Mmm. Poultry piercer. Okay.
I see Kaizen nodding and like figuring it out. I'm like, okay, that makes sense, but I have no idea what's going on. I'm just like,
Did
yeah.
you hear that too?
Both of you offer drinks if you do want them being seen sat down.
Drinks of
Kaizen.
What?
What do you want?
Not
Ka-
alcohol.
Kaizen
You
asks if
offered
there's
given water.
apple juice.
We have cider.
That will work, yes.
Alright, you're given some apple cider. Woof, you're given some water.
What's that?
It's water, sir.
No, what's he got?
That is apple cider.
What's that?
Do you want to try?
Yeah.
Kaizen
I will.
hands over.
Okay, you take a sip of cider. It's up to you how Wolf would react to that.
Cider is an alcoholic, right?
Some cider is, some cider isn't. This is.
That's not as bad as some of the stuff that I have. I will take some of that too, please.
Of course, he takes the water and comes back a little bit later with some cider.
Thank you, sir. That's very nice of you.
Of course, sir. And heads off. Alrighty. Leonhardt and Shivari, you make it over to the Baron, who is just finishing up a conversation with someone who doesn't look dressed for the party. So that person finishes up, takes some papers from the Baron, and scuttles off out the back of the tent.
Okay.
Before we make it there, like along the way, Shvari wants to lean in and whisper to Leon, perhaps maybe downplay my part in all this so they don't ask too many questions that could lead to the whole magic thing. Might be a good idea.
You prefer to stay in the shadows and not brag about your exceptional set of skills.
It just seems that the whole magic thing is a little bit, of a contested topic. So the less that is known about what I can do, probably the better.
Wise and diligent, Shivari, as expected. I shall try to calm my tongue.
Okay, thank you.
You make
And
it
then
up to the
immediately
Baron.
goes, Baron!
I will calm my tongue. Hey! Sir Leonhardt von Griever, welcome back. You are quite the good sport, my friend. Holds out a hand to give you a strong handshake.
Yes, I respond the strong handshake, the firm handshake.
Yes. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I hope you're enjoying the party. It is for you, of course. And Lady Shivari, of course, it is wonderful to see you again as well.
Nice to see you as well. And she'll give a little curtsy.
He gives a very overdramatic bow. Are you all enjoying the party?
Yes, it is very nice, thank you.
Yes, it is most splendid indeed, Baron. We really appreciate the fact that you seem to have saved no costs, saved no money on this, and it means a great deal to us. Although some of my companions, and he nods over to Wolf and Kaizen, may not be able to express their gratitude to the fullest, but rest assured that every one of us really is having a good time.
Oh, I heard your companion. I've heard you have been showing off your skills quite magnificently throughout some of the games. I've been hearing. I heard a smaller complaint about something to do with nuts.
Yeah, that was a quite fascinating game, and as a member of Homeland Security, I just had to make sure that everything was going well and in order.
Oh, I suspect there was probably cheating there. You know those kind of games, but it's fun for the children.
That it is. And you know what, Baron? Shivari here, she was able to win the main prize.
Oh, really? Tell me, what is the prize? I tried myself, and that's why I'm pretty sure they were cheating. What was the main prize?
The main prize was a pair of very nice-looking shoes. Our other companion has them. You might be able to see them if he wants to show them.
I will have to ask. That sounds very interesting. I do like that kind of stuff, of course. I was curious. They caught my eye, but oh well. Better minds won there.
Now, Baron, we had a conversation with Lord Aquas just a moment ago, and he was mentioning an arena and fights against beasts going on the next day.
Why, yes, certainly. I didn't want to trouble you with it. I was, in fact, going to give you a surprise invite to my VIP box, if you were interested.
I mean, I'm going to have to ask.
If you're interested in watching some brutal savagery of some terrifying monsters, my guards will be more than capable of taking them down, of course.
Well, I would have to have word with my companions first. It is their decision after all. I'm just a mere protector and guide to bring them safely to home. But if we were to watch that spectacle, are you still in need for combatants to perhaps sweeten the delight of and display?
You want to enter into the arena?
It all depends on what awaits us in the arena.
Well, well, several monsters. I can maybe give you one hint if you're interested. I can give you the first round. How about that?
Go ahead.
Well, we headed up a little bit into the mountains, and we were able to come across a large cat with teeth coming all the way down to its chin. Vicious creature, scratched up some of the scouts good and proper, but perfect for this kind of thing. We found it due to a report that it has been eating local livestock and has attacked at least 2 villages further north.
Quite the vicious cat, quite the vicious beast indeed. Now, what are the rules for these fights? Is it a man against a beast? Is it a group, a party?
It was going to be groups. We were going to send 10 guards in there, and they would try their best.
10 guards, you say? Well, say no more. I shall have word with my companions. And until when would you like to receive word of our potential attendance?
Tell you what, surprise me on the day.
Fantastic.
You have it. The guards will be informed that you are allowed into either the combatant's entrance or my VIP box. I hope to see you there in either way. However, I am disappointed if you do enter that I am going to have to part with a wish so easily.
You seem to know me better than I expected, Baron, because that fear is well justified.
The insults were simply for fun. When it comes to combat, I do not doubt any of your skills. I checked over the body of the hag myself. That was a lot of arrows.
Leonard gives a cough. Well, there always has to be someone distracting and softening up the beast so that the arrows can finish it. That's advanced strategies is what they call it at Homeland Security.
Of course. And if you continue up with that, I wouldn't be surprised to see. If you continue up with that, and if you're in my neck of the woods, I would not feel any concern with potentially putting in a word for a promotion if you were looking for a more military rank.
You are too kind, my good Baron. And let it be known that if you were indeed willing to put in a word or two in my favor, that favor would, of course, greatly be greatly responded equally in equal fashion.
I will make sure it is written up along with the letter I intend to send with you on the way to home. Of course, I want to make sure that everyone is completely aware of the deeds you have done here.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful, my dear Baron. Now, and Leonhard reaches out again with an arm in order to greet him. I do not intend on stealing any more of your precious time. If you would excuse us, Shivani and I shall return to our companions immediately and shall discuss the plans for the morrow.
Of course. Remember, don't go too far. We're only a couple of minutes away from Cadbury's display. I've heard it is quite something. He's managed to get stuff in from across the seas.
Interesting.
That sounds like it would be very entertaining to watch.
I hope so. When you hear the bell sound, you can exit through that flap there, so that you will be in a more separated area, so that you're not caught in the throng.
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you both. Gives you both a very deep bow again, and moves off to go talk to some other people at the party as you head back to Woof and Kaizad, who you see staring intently at 4 masquerade masked people who are having their own conversation, staring at their hands, trying to work out what's going on.
What are you two doing?
One moment. Okay, that knife is for the That's for the duck, I think it is. Okay.
Guys, he's using the chicken fork on the beef. I don't understand. It's
I don't know. This is
Are
so
you trying
complicated.
to understand?
the guy's putting a spoon in the bread. Like,
I'll let you both make one more perception check or investigation check. Again, your choice to try and figure this out.
Out of curiosity, would Shivari be versed in which ones are which?
You would recognize some of these, like you know which one's a dessert spoon from a soup spoon. Beyond that, this is more than you've ever seen in your life.
Okay.
Kaizen,
22.
you're pretty close. Again, with a roll that high, you can see at least one of the people in that group is pretending.
Oh.
And it's just basically swapping around. The other three seem to have some kind of pattern. He is pretending. You can see the others. You can't tell too far from behind their masks, but they're like, their mouths sort of stiffen a bit when they see him pick up a new bit of cutlery from time to time.
Okay, Wolf, you see that one. Don't look, but the one, two from the left of the blue mast. That one doesn't know what he's doing. The pattern is all wrong. It's so different from all of the other ones. I don't think he knows either.
Oh. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. I slowly make a mental note that I've been following the wrong guy all along.
So whatever you do, don't copy that one.
Yeah, at this point,
Why don't you
Leonhardt
just go
arrives.
ask them?
That draws attention. Just try to assimilate in less conspicuous ways.
Okay.
I don't think that, different sort of people than I,
Okay.
Yes.
Leonhardt then steps closer to Kaizen and Wolf. Are you struggling with the food, friends?
Don't say food, please.
There is just a lot of utensils, a lot of cutlery.
Of course there is. There's a whole great deal of food, of course. And then Leonhardt, he, straightens up and then takes a clear look at the cutlery. And just starts, to the best of his ability, elaborating on which fork, which knife needs to be used for which dish.
Okay, so you would definitely be more experienced with this, but again, this is beyond your pay grade as well. So we'll make you make a
Leonard's
roll
just
for this,
going
but we're
for
going
it.
to set the DC very low. What roll would this be? What's the posh roll? What is the upper class talent? I guess this is. Let's just make this a general charisma check.
Gotcha.
Make a what's my family rich check. Your DC was significantly lower because of
Oh
that.
shoot, that
sorry.
was the Christmas save actually.
That's fine. Are you proficient in
Okay,
charisma saves?
Gotcha.
Are you proficient in charisma saves?
I'm not.
So it is 21. So we're all good. Yeah, your DC was significantly lower. So yeah, you're able to work it out, and you're able to explain with almost perfect efficiency which one is which. You hesitate on one, which you then recognize to be an egg spoon, despite not seeing an egg in any of these meals. But you are able to gesture and work out exactly which one is which. You find the drizzling spoon, you find the soup spoon, you find the meat fork, you find the shredding fork to shred poultry into more biteable chunks, and you're able to tell the difference between a steak knife, butter knife, regular vegetable knife, and all the rest that are
Fish
along
knife,
the
yep.
list.
Got
Exactly.
it all. Mm-hmm.
He nails them off, and Kaizen and Wolf, you watch as Leonhardt lists off what every single one of these are.
Leonard is done, flashing white teeth, presented in a vicious smile.
Leonhardt, you're facing away from them. Wolf and Kaizen, you can see the one person who you saw faking it has been giving a side eye and intently listening to this explanation.
I think that one was using the egg spoon for the soup.
Hearing you say that, he You can't tell if he blushes or not 'cause he's wearing a mask, but he looks back and picks up the soup spoon and starts eating his soup.
Give him a thumbs up.
He does his best to ignore you, but he clearly is embarrassed.
Yeah. And about what time of evening is it at this point?
You're approaching midnight at this point.
Okay. I think it is almost time for the gnomes. Shivar, you were there, right?
Yes.
You said that be something going on.
Yes, the Baron said that will be happening soon. There should be a bell or something that will notify us, and you can go through that over there, that step over there. You get a good vantage point, I presume.
Okay. Wolf, are you still feeling okay?
I'm okay. I think I'm alright.
Okay. I guess then we can watch whatever it is then.
Now, before we move there, friends, Shivari and we've had a very intriguing conversation with the Baron, and he and another nobleman known as Lord Aquis, they were mentioning an arena spectacle that was going to take place tomorrow. Parties of people fighting beasts of the forests, and there's a great prize to be won. Apparently, the winner of this spectacle gets to choose a wish from the Baron of whatever is in his, power to be granted.
That is interesting. An arena fight versus forest beast.
There is glory to be won.
So,
Nice.
they kill them? Just for fun?
Well, not entirely for fun, Woof. These beasts could certainly prey on travelers, workers, lumberjacks working in the forests, and they're all vicious creatures. For example, the Baron was saying that there was a vicious cat, a gigantic cat with big fangs and saber tusks, waiting in the
So
area.
they kidnap them and make them fight? That doesn't seem very nice.
I've heard of people doing this before for some sort of entertainment or something.
That's not entertaining, that's sad.
Yes, I've heard. Sad for the beasts. But apparently the people like it. It gives them things to focus on that is not, the daily monotonous routine of life.
And most
Sure,
importantly,
weird
it gives a man the
Kaizen.
chance to make a name for himself, to win great prizes, to rise in the ranks of society.
At this point, you actually see one of the one of the masked people lean forward and go, "Excuse me, I couldn't help but overhear. There is no requirement to kill the beasts. Only get them into submission. Winner chooses the method. If the beast wins, it goes free into hopefully a safer part. If it is caught again, it will be killed. But if you are victorious, you can ask for it to be released. Preferably not in the arena. That would be
Yes,
Into the
savage.
stands! Go, Tigers!
but there is no requirement as of such. I would be
Well, that would
fair
make our
warning though.
victory even
Last year,
more.
say again. Sorry.
That would make our victory even more glamorous. Without killing the beast, just tying it up, perhaps hitting it unconscious. That would even display our skill at the weapon even more.
Then you can choose to release it or kill it. Although fair warning. I heard that last year the last person who tried to claim victory over a felled beast without killing it lost an arm. So make sure if you're going to do that it is in fact incapacitated. Sorry to intrude. Enjoy your conversation.
Oh, why, thank you very much for your insight, good sir. That was very helpful. And then he turns to the others. Well, Wolf, Kaizen, and Shivari, I shall leave the decision up to you. I won't have a say in this. as it is my duty to guide you to home as safely and quickly as possible. So if we take this detour and if we aim to win this glory, I shall be your man to lead you in combat. Now, if you decide that this is not something to pursue, I shall agree with that decision nonetheless.
Well, it seems less savage than the arenas that I have heard about. In those, there are only options to kill. So if there is not, then perhaps it is more appealing.
I could do it to fight on behalf of the animals. I don't need a name though. I already have one.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do, Wolf.
Just realized what you meant.
Okay, because if the other people are gonna kill them, I don't want that. As much as I don't like fight the scared animals.
I don't really like the idea of, such brutal entertainment, but if we could make it so that we can save the creature, I'm not opposed to doing that. If
Now-
they are an animal, I might be able to talk to them and persuade them to let us, put them into submission a bit so that we can be easier for us, if that makes sense.
Oh, that'd be so cool!
I do not know if they will agree, of course, but if I explain to them that doing that will save their life, it might be in our favor.
I would be careful. Try to do similar things in my tribe, but sometimes the minds of these beasts are so addled that they basically do not understand what you are saying.
Fair enough. I have only recently learned how to do it, so I might want to practice beforehand. Make sure I can at least do it properly.
Okay.
It could be worth a try, if our goal is not to kill them, which I think it would be. I'm not really wanting to go into this arena to just kill a creature.
I would agree.
Now, friends, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I did say that glory is to be won and a name is to be made, but I did have a different intention originally when I heard about this. Now, the prize was to grant the winners a wish that was in the power of the Baron. Now, see, I've spent a lot of time with our good friend Buddy, and he once told me that it was his greatest and most pure wish to become such a stunning knight such as myself. Now, while that is of course impossible for him to achieve, mind you, we can still try to make him a knight if the Baron chooses to give a knighthood over to Buddy. I believe he's a pure soul and that he would indeed have what it takes to live up to the honor and name and duties of what it means to be a knight.
Oh,
What say you?
that's so nice. Yeah.
I think that would be really nice. too.
Did you not lecture Buddy on the fact that it is far away to achieve that for him?
It is far away to become a knight, such gallant and valorous such as myself. That does not mean, however, that he cannot become a knight, open the door to his future, and then ascend to the next level. And I believe if there's anyone that has earned it, it is him. He may have gotten ourselves into a lot of trouble back then, you remember. He lost track of that cart, but I think he's a kind and good lad, and he would bring a lot of honor to his name if he had one.
It is a very noble thing to wish to ask for.
So it is settled then, friends. We will try to avoid any unnecessary bloodshed, and we will get the name that Buddy deserves.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
like-
do it.
Looks like a football coach. He looks after a motivational speech. He looks at everybody. He's like, yeah.
At this point, you hear a small bell being rung and see people beginning to make their way towards the tent flaps.
That is the bell if you want to go through.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I'm turning to Kaizen. Where are we going? What are we looking at?
I think there's going to be some sort of spectacle, a show, something magically involved, maybe.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, apparently it's going to be very fascinating. So, yeah, just keep your eyes open.
Excuse me. Alright, so you all step out. You find yourself in basically the royal gardens, where you can see a load of benches have been set out, with a load of nobles sitting down into them. You can also see on the other side of the tent, people are gathering around a much larger fence. It's thinking New Year's celebrations with less people because it's a smaller town, but a load of people thronging up to the front of something concert style. I couldn't think of the word there. I was going conference, and I was like, yes, let us all gather at a fence to be excited about a conference. But everyone's grouping up. As you look around, you can see that the majority of the benches are full, but you can see right at the front, you can see the Baron standing up, facing towards the nobles, glancing over his shoulder every now and again, but as he sees you, he gestures towards the benches at the front.
Alright, we'll walk over there.
Yep, me too.
Same.
Kaizen will follow.
Alrighty. You all sit down. The Baron gives you all a bow, shakes all of your hands, kisses Shivari's hand on the way past as he lets you sit down. And then as he looks over to Cadbury, as he looks to see the last people filing out the tent and taking their seats, he holds out a hand to Cadbury, who hands him a small wand, which Martinez Cadred the Baron puts to his cast a spell. And then he speaks into it, his voice amplified throughout the town centre. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our celebration. Now, many of you might be here just for the party and the ale, but I think everyone should know the reason that we are all here today. In our town, you may have been aware that there was a spree of murders. Most horrible and foul. However, this issue has been solved and debated thanks to some strangers. Coming in from out of town, our business was not theirs. Yet they took up sword, bow, and all weaponry, and in one case, kindness, to not only slay the foul hag that was killing our citizens, but also rescue a cat. Then you see some laughter. You hear some laughter from the crowd. These are our heroes. We have, hailing from damn! Now I can't remember. I didn't write this down. Kaizen, where do you hail from? What did you say? What did you say on that?
From East
Yes, that was it.
Kakakapul.
East Kakapul, that was the one. Hailing from East Kakakapul, it is Kaizen! He gestures you to, stand up a bit. As
Kaizen
you
kind
hear
of
the crowd.
awkwardly stands and sits
You
back
hear
down.
a round of applause.
Still mask on.
Woof, what did you say? That's your call.
I'm from the place near here. I don't remember where.
I don't remember if you called that. I think you just called it as, I don't know. So I think he was gonna do hailing from parts unknown, I think it was.
Yeah, I didn't tell them where I was from.
Fair
and
enough.
then they asked, I say, Emmy's house. Hailing from Emmy's house.
Oh yeah, that was it. Hailing from Emmy's house, we have Woof! A round of applause. A little bit of confusion once again, just where's that? Hailing from home and a member of the Homeland Security, Sir Leonhard von Griever.
Leonard stands
The
up.
one I can remember
ready
'cause it's
to
near
bask
here.
in the glory, and like a Roman emperor, he just holds out his hand.
The one I can remember because it's near here. And Shivari.
Shvari's was Olotalan.
Olotalan, there we go. And hailing from Olotalan, Lady Shivari.
She'll get up and, do a bit of a curtsy and sit back down.
These are the reasons we all stand here safe and celebrating today. And for all of your enjoyment, we have a couple magical and non-magical items set up for a wonderful spectacle from your favourite magic shop owner and mine. It's Cadbury. He takes the wand away and takes a seat down next to Leonhart. As he turns away, turns and faces. Cadbury is standing in the town square that has now been cornered off. There are guards blocking the entrance and small fences set up, temporary rope walls and stuff like that. He has boxes for days in front of him and a couple of assistants each side. As he initially sets up, grabbing a couple things, you can't hear or see anything he's doing for the moment. You see something moving in his hands, and the entire town square goes dark. There is nothing inside it. You can't see any of the lights. You can't see him. You can't see the statue in the center. You can't see anything. And then that light disappears with 3 glowing orbs that begin to circle around the town center, circling in a spinning pattern. As 2 bottles you see get thrown from over your heads, landing in the center, both immediately catching fire, either side of the statue in the town center. At that point, 2 of the boxes nearby begin to detonate into fireworks, which begin to go off into the sky, creating very loud noises. Loud bangs start. Rains of red and gold begin to shower the sky, lighting everything up. The crowd oohs and ahs as the entire area is illuminated with these lights. Woof looks a little distressed.
I don't like this. It's loud.
Is at that point, as the popping goes off, that everything goes silent. The lights are still flashing, everything is going, but everything goes silent for a second. And then all the noise comes back again, the lights continuing to go, as you can see Cadbury just waving a wand around, as he begins to mutter an incantation that you can't hear from here, as the fireworks are exploded through by a huge red dragon that appears in the center of town. It lands in the town center and begins to move towards you all.
Leonhard
I'm
is
getting the
just
hell out of Dodge.
speechless.
Nope.
The Baron grabs your shoulder and just gives you a. As the dragon steps forward, it opens its mouth, letting out taking in an almighty breath for its breath weapon, and breathes out, showering you all in real flowers as they scatter across the VIP box as it turns its head and showers everyone in the audience with flowers. As the dragon then itself explodes into flowers, and the entire town center again goes dark. And the lights slowly return, the darkness dissipates. And the normal torches are there, the fire that was there was gone, the boxes are gone. It is like nothing was there to begin with, other than the fact that everything is now covered in flowers.
Grab some flowers out of the air.
The crowd is having a lovely time, and the Baron is brava, brava, brava.
Leonhard joins in. He's genuinely and honestly delighted. That was beautiful, and he likes all the pretty, beautiful things, and that was probably the most beautiful thing he's ever seen. And if he can, he picks up one of the flowers and sniffs on it, smells it, and then just puts it in his hair, just next to the ear.
It's a straight up legit flower. You smell it. It's a real flower. Put it in your hair.
Amazing.
The Baron turns to Woof and goes, "Are you all right?"
I don't like loud. It's like holding my puppies.
Emmy is still asleep. She's been asleep this entire time.
I don't like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
Well, thank you. The rest of the stuff was very nice. I don't like loud.
Of course, it's not for everyone. Well,
I like
hope-
to go to bed now.
understandable. Understandable. Alright, well, I'm gonna go mingle with the populace for a bit before I head to bed myself, but I hope to see all or some of you tomorrow. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this. This was for you. Feel free to take anything food-wise that you want on the way out. And it leans over and whispers to you all. Between you and me, we have way too much cutlery. So if you could take some of that on the way out, I'd be really appreciated. Yeah, take some food, take some drinks. You want to get some fancy cutlery?
I wanted some fancy cutlery.
All
Any kind
right.
of meat I can get my hand on, and a bottle of cider.
All right, you're able to get a bottle of cider easily enough. Meat-wise, we'll say it's probably if you. We'll say you're able to ask a servant, and they're able to provide you with like either some salt or some parchment paper, some whatever the equivalent of grease paper would be back in this day. I don't know. Lembas leaves? I don't know. But you're able to wrap up enough meat that we'll call it to be a week's worth of good rations. So good food rations as opposed to
Nice.
normal biscuits and crackers kind of stuff and bread. And you do have a bottle of cider. And
Nice.
we'll say, how many sets of cutlery would you like, or would you just like to take a mishmash?
I'm gonna take what I think to be one set, but I've probably got about 15 spoons and 6 knives and
Roll
4
me-
forks.
Roll me just a d20. 5 or below, you're gonna get a miss set, but there's enough out there that you've probably got enough. You're fine. You get a full set. You have got 2 egg spoons, but you do have 2 sets.
Never have too many egg spoons.
All right. So yeah, mark that down as
there was
a.
no eggs. I don't get it. Why were there egg spoons?
So yeah, mark that
Does not
down
make
as a. Mark that down as expensive cutlery set worth 100 GP.
Ooh!
Damn.
Although you're probably not going to get away with selling it here. Anyone else want to take anything?
Kaizen will gather like a bouquet of a bunch of different color flowers.
Easy enough. Easily able to collect them. A load of people are like brushing them off, but you're able to collect them from seats, from the ground, from caught in the trees. You're easily able to collect a good selection of flowers.
And then grab some cider.
Get some cider on the way out. Right, you have a bottle of cider.
Alright.
Okay, Leonhard, Shivari.
Nothing really. Leonard is very happy and content with how that evening went, and I think he's ready to just go home and contemplate.
Shivari?
Or I won't grab anything, but is Cadbury like around?
Make a perception check.
Perception.
Don't spot him.
Okay, then she will not take anything, and she is ready to retire for
Alright,
the evening.
you all head back to the inn, to your respective rooms. You set up for the night and have a long and... None of you really drunk enough to be hungover or anything like that. Woof, though, please do make me a constitution saving throw. Are you sharing a room with Kaizen, by the way?
We are sharing a room.
Okay, Kaizen, you've got to make me to save as well.
What is it? Constitution save?
Constitution saving throw, please.
What are you doing to my puppy?
Okay. Woof has to get up once during the night just to be in pain, mostly, just with a big old stomachache. It doesn't wake up Kaizan, though, and it's not enough to interrupt a long rest in total. As you all have a lovely night and awake the next morning. Kaizan, you gotta love that your bouquet of flowers sits on the bedstand next to you. Did you retrieve a vase? There is a vase in here that you would have been able to fill with water if you wanted.
Oh, yeah, sure. I would have done that, yeah.
You've got a vase that's a load of lovely flowers inside it. Woof, you're feeling significantly better. And Emmy is pretty desperate to get out of this room right now. Carol, who has been pretty chill the entire night, also would not mind going outside at this point.
I will take my pets outside, both of them on their leashes.
The cat objects. It's a cat. Roll an animal handling check for Carol.
Okay.
You get her moving, and you're able to get her outside so that they can
You
take care
will
of business.
assimilate, Carol!
Join the dog team. Alright. Everyone else wakes up in their respective rooms, in their different levels of niceness, and make it downstairs in time for breakfast, which is not for free. Your rooms were for free because the Baron took care of that, but you do still have to pay for breakfast.
Yes.
What is the cost of breakfast again?
On it now. Should have known this was about to come up, because I would have been smart if I was. But no, that's trade goods, actually, unless you plan on buying £1 of wheat.
Of course. 1 pound of wheat for
Cool.
breakfast.
I mean, it's only a copper piece.
Neat.
But yeah, meals. Squalid, poor, modest, comfortable, wealthy, or aristocratic.
Modest.
Modest, 3 silver.
Modest.
3 silver.
Wealthy.
Wealthy is 8 silver. Alright.
So, yesterday, do we end up finding somewhere to exchange all that silver?
You didn't say you were looking, so Woof is still carrying it.
Okay. Probably should find a place to make this easier to carry. Change it for a bigger.
Yeah, I
funds.
like that.
Yeah. Thank you for carrying it.
No, it's no problem.
Alright, you're able to, for the sake of brevity, you're able to find no one has enough gold on their person to change that up, and there isn't exactly a bank in this world, but you're able to find enough places throughout a good part of the morning to trade all that up into gold. You can also, if you want to, trade up at least 100 gold of it into 10 platinum if you want, which will definitely save weight.
Okay. I have to do some math now.
Alright, so 10 platinum and 268 gold.
Yep.
Alright.
Alrighty.
Cool.
So-
Kaizen will give Wolf 150 gold.
So if you to get 150 gold, and Kaizen picks up the rest, I guess.
Thank you, friend.
Yes, no problem. I don't know how it happened, but your arrow. I've never seen anything quite like that, but helped me get it, so here you go.
I'm good at helping.
Very much so.
Alrighty. So, where are you guys headed?
So I guess before we start doing anything, Leonhardt would have probably gathered everybody for a quick meeting as to what our course of action will be. Whether, like, friends, are we doing this? Would you be down? Would you be available for this challenge, or would you rather continue our travels towards home. Once again, I do not wish to interfere. All I am is your guide and protector. The decision is yours.
Well, if we could save the animals, I'd like to do that.
That cannot be guaranteed, but that can be one of our goals, for sure.
Saving the animals would be nice, as well as you mentioned before, the potential reward that we could use. I think
Kaizen?
both are good reasons to perhaps do it.
Absolutely, Shavari. I fully agree.
Yes, I am willing to do this.
Then it is decided. It is settled. We shall enter the arena as the squad of glorious heroes that we are. We shall win Buddy his new name, and we shall try to protect the animals to the best of our ability.
Okay.
So before you guys head down, do you want to buy any additional equipment if your goal is non-lethal takedowns?
I was gonna ask you, is there a way that I can like take the head off of my pike so that it doesn't pierce? It just does like bludgeoning damage.
That would be basically buying a great club. You would be definitely damaging the weapon if you were to try and take the head off.
Okay.
You
Can
can
I
absolutely do. There are rules for calling non-lethal strikes, where basically you go for a non-lethal attack where the rules could be, if it is a humanoid, for example, you force them to yield. If you go for an attack that would hit, they know they would go down. If it's a creature, usually it's going to end up being an improvised weapon attack to do it that way, and if it takes it down to 0, it will knock it out. But yeah, you definitely need something that would bludgeon, or you can improvised weapon to smack it with your stick.
Can I use the Nilbog staff like a quarter staff?
You can. It would be considered a quarterstaff.
Nice. Okay.
The Fool's Scepter. That would be counted. But yeah, there are weapon shops. You could buy You could buy specific stuff for that if anyone wants or needs anything. I can list down the weapons if it would help.
Like I want a flog, but not to use, so I can play with Carol like a cat toy.
They have whips. That would be a whip. A whip would be 2 gold pieces if you wanted one. You can get like a flogger star one. Alrighty.
Would there be an alchemical place that might have something like a tranquilizer of sorts, some kind of something that would be able to put creatures to sleep?
That's an interesting one. Maybe an investigation.
Go to Cadbury's and ask him if he knows any.
Cadbury's probably the best person for that. Yeah. When you head to a shop, it is closed.
Uh-oh.
Unfortunate.
When did the Baron say was the spectacle going to start?
Past midday, which is approaching at this point, but you have enough time to buy stuff if you want.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll list down weapons if you hear anything you want. Let me know. Club,
Now-
dagger, great club, hand axe, javelin, light hammer, mace, quarterstaff, sickle, spear, crossbow, dart, short bow, sling, battle axe, flail, glaive, great. These ones are. I'm gonna get rid of all the ones that are sharp.
Yeah. Could you use a sword and say you're gonna hit the foe with the blunt side of it?
That
not
would
the
be an
sharp side?
improvised attack, so it would only do a D4 plus strength
Okay.
damage, and you're not proficient in improvised weapons.
So just so I know for mechanics' sake, like if we all use blunt weapons, we would still like inflict normal damage, but when the beast
Unless
goes down to
if
0,
you were to use a sword, for example, if you hit normal damage and use a sword, you can wound it, and you can use your sword and slice it. But if you want to drop a non-lethal hit to defeat it, you've either got to somehow tie it up with rope or a net, or
Okay.
use blunt weapons like a great club or a hammer, or use an improvised attack with the hilt of your weapon or the stick part of it.
Okay.
Okay. Aizen will inquire as to where the person who's running like the ranger or the archery contest was, because they had like blunted arrows.
Make a persuasion check, because you're asking around, I guess. See if you're able to.
Sweet.
What about nets? Can we get nets? Because like that's a thing, right?
They absolutely sell nets. Kaizen, no luck. Who get told he's probably by the arena watching the event. But yeah, nets are absolutely for sale. You can buy a net for 1 gold piece.
Nice. And how much is the flog and the quarterstaff? Well, I have a quarterstaff.
Yeah, you
and
have a
flog.
quarterstaff. The whip is 2 gold.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, but yeah, you can buy a net. That's in there. It has a 5 to 15 foot range. It is a thrown weapon, so it does use strength technically.
Oh darn.
I was
Should
about
we
to say
get
I
that
don't
up,
think
too?
that's a problem for you.
No.
Should we get the rope? That's probably a good idea, yeah.
Well, that's a good idea. Yeah, so you could tie it
Unless
up. I got a
we
net.
have any rope.
Most of you have adventurers kits, which should come with at least 50 feet of rope.
I do not.
If you search your
got some rope.
yeah, if you
I
search
never
your
got an
rope,
adventurer's kit.
Yeah.
I stole clothes off a dead guy.
that's true.
didn't
I
thi-
forgot about
I didn't
that.
think to pick up his kit.
Oh, you
I ate his
didn't
biscuits.
know. Oh, you did. Oh man, I forgot about that. But yeah, if you have an explorers or dungeoneers or anything like that, you likely have rope.
Kaizen or Leonard, do you have rope?
I do, yes.
Yes, I'm well equipped.
That should be good.
Alright, so we got a net wielding Woof, rope wielding Kaizans and Leonhardt.
Also, Kaizen would purchase a sling and some ammunition for said sling.
Okay. Easy enough. I mean, they don't sell sling ammunition. That would either be rocks or ball bearings, which they do sell ball bearings.
Alright,
Oh no, wait,
I'm a
no, they do
really
sell
good
sling.
rock
Oh, they do sell
finder.
sling bullets. I didn't think sling bullets were a thing. Yeah, no, they do sell them. They're 4 copper for 20,
4 copper for 20.
and a sling itself is 1 silver.
Shivari will get a sling as well.
Okay. Fair warning, a sling is a simple ranged weapon, so you do need proficiency in simple weapons to be able to use them. If you, I do not
I
remember
do
which
have-
class is what proficiency.
I have proficiency in simple weapons.
Solid.
Same.
I mean, you have proficiency in everything except heavy armor,
Same.
Kazan. Yeah, Woof and Leonhardt, I'm pretty sure, do have proficiency in every weapon and armor. Wait, do barbarians
yes.
get proficiency in heavy armor? Pointlessly?
No, I don't think so, but we don't need it. We just yell really loud and things.
That's
don't
true.
hurt us.
Yeah, we
what,
get
The
was
louder
that?
you scream, the less it hurts.
What was that, Kendrick?
Fighter has proficiency in everything, basically. So,
Yes.
is a heavy mace, is that two-handed or is that still one-handed?
Well, there's no heavy mace. There is a mace. A mace is one-handed, and it is a d6.
Okay.
It is not a light weapon, so you can't dual wield with it. But unless you have that feat.
No. I don't want to dual wield. That's what I'm saying. But I think I'm getting a mace then.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm looking at the other melee weapons that you could have in terms of stuff. The only other blunt instrument one that's not going to be covered in spiky bits would be like a war hammer.
But that would
Oh,
be
that sounds
two-handed, I think, right?
mean.
I mean, it would do the job. You just gotta-
Isn't that two-handed though?
No, it's versatile. A versatile
maul is
weapon can be
two-handed.
used as one-handed or two-handed. Like, I believe you have a longsword, right?
That is true.
So a longsword can either be wielded two-handed for a d10 or one-handed for a d8. Warhammer's the same.
Oh, so stats-wise, the Warhammer makes more sense.
They're the exact same. Except
Cool.
one is a blunt instrument, one is a big hitting thing, and one's significantly more expensive.
The Warhammer's more expensive, I guess.
No, actually the same. I'm bad. I thought the Warhammer would be more expensive because more metal.
Nice. Then the Warhammer it shall be.
You now own a Warhammer.
And how much is it?
It is 15 gold pieces.
15.
So yes, they basically the exact same stats except the Warhammer deals bludgeoning. So a D8 when holding it one-handed is the damage dice,
Cool.
and a D10 when you hold it with two hands.
At some point before we leave to go to the arena, if we're back at like the inn, I'll ask Wolf. Wolf, could we go up to your room so I could? I want to try out something, and I would like to try and speak with Emmy.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, you head up to Kaizan's room. Kaizan has the keys.
Yeah.
I assume Kaizan gave Woof a key.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, you head up to that
We
room.
split it, so we better.
Alright, you head up to the room.
Yeah, and then I'll take the 10 minutes to try or to cast speak with animals.
Alright. As you begin to focus, Emmy is not paying attention to you at all at the moment. She is currently busy. Paws up on the windowsill, looking out the window, panting. As the cast finishes.
And when it finishes, I will. Emmy, can you understand me?
Yeah, I can. It runs up and starts licking you. Yes, I can understand you. Hello. Hi, yes.
Hello. Alright.
Is that my name? Am I Emmy?
Yes, your name is Emmy.
Oh my
and,
god!
I am Shadvari.
Shivari. I'm not gonna remember that.
that
I
is-
might remember that. I should remember that.
Wolf takes care of you.
Which one's Woof?
That one is Wolf, and I'll point to Wolf.
Woof, you can unfortunately not hear this. Speak of Animals is a link between the caster and the animal.
Aww.
Looks up and goes, "That was Woof?
Yes, that was.
I love
that was-
Woof."
Yeah.
I will be sure to let them know.
I'm glad. Yay! You talk.
I can talk to you. Yes.
Yay! That's great. Everything's great.
I cannot always talk to you, but there are times where I will be able to.
That's fine. That's like the times when I can sometimes eat more and then sometimes I can't eat more. Because yesterday I ate more and I thought I could eat more, but I couldn't eat more and it hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, well, thank you. I was wanting to make sure that I could talk to you, so it is good to know that I can.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. I love you.
I love you too. And make sure you listen to Wolf. And Wolf
Yeah. Maybe.
loves you.
I'll sometimes do that.
That's good enough. Thank you.
Thanks. I'll try my best. Goes back to looking out runs over to Woof and starts jumping up.
Emmy says that she loves you.
Oh, I love her too so much.
And thank you for letting me do that. I wanted to make sure that it worked.
Oh, yeah, of course. Anytime you can talk to her.
Yeah. I'm sure I will in the future.
Alrighty.
Oh, what a delightful encounter.
Alright, as you guys head downstairs, you all reconvene. Is there anything else you all want to do before you head to the arena?
Can I ask the Baron if he'll hold my puppy while I'm fighting?
That would be at the arena.
Okay. Thank
How
you.
much time is it until the event is supposed to start?
Less than an
Arena.
hour at this point.
Less than an hour. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Nothing else for now.
Okay. Then, as you all group up and begin walking towards the outskirts of town, where you were directed to the arena is on the opposite side to where you came in. I think that's where we'll leave today's session. And we'll pick up with the arena next week.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. That was so much fun.
I hope everyone enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed, especially. That was definitely a little bit more chill than
That was a
the last
nice
couple
session.
weeks.
I like that. Last week was hard, so this was a nice session.
That was some fun RP. Oh my god, watching you two try to figure out cutlery was one of my favorite things. The curse of Leonhardt's dice returns, but he also managed to mingle very successfully with high society. That was good. Shibari learned to talk to dogs. Oh man, you guys are amazing. Absolutely love it.
It was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, an episode that befits a man such as Leonhardt.
You mean falling over and being covered in wine? No,
No one ever saw that.
You nailed the high society conversation. That was lovely.
Oh, that was so good. Watching you guys was really fun.
I'm glad you all enjoyed. So, I hope everyone in the audience had fun. As usual, though, we will run up the list this time with what everyone is up to this coming week. I guess I'll start off this time with there's no more Division S because the league doesn't start until like 2-3 weeks time. I don't know, something like that. When that comes
that's in
back, I'll
March.
be in that. But I'm going to be streaming Heroes, streaming and casting Apex. I will be in Jigsy Cat's show, The Defenders of Ass, so you can check that out on YouTube. And it's in my Discord, so if you're not already in the Discord, it gets linked there, so you can follow that as well below. Keep an eye on my Twitter, see what I'm doing. Follow this Twitch, subscribe, help me pay rent, please. I beg you. And HTC China, which Kendrick, I sent you the messages about the information about that. An interesting format. Best of double elimination brackets into a league, into a playoffs. Super weird, but yes, it is a thing. HTC China is happening. We don't know. I don't know exactly what I'm doing with it yet, and haven't spoken to Kendrick about it yet, other than just telling him the info.
Yeah. I mean, we're kind of hyped about it, but whether it's ever going to see Twitch, the light of Twitch,
I mean, it's definitely seeing the light of Twitch if we can find replays, or at least if I can find replays, because my Patreon goal to cast it has been met. So I will thank you all support there. So I will at least be casting it. If I can drag Kendrick along to do it, if he's up for it, I will do so, just for the sake of nostalgia and having an excuse to hang out with Kendrick. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing. So Faye, what are you up to?
Streaming and playing auto chess, pretty much.
Nice. And are you still going to be streaming after this show finishes?
Yeah, I'm getting everything set up right now.
Perfect. Sounds good. So we will be raiding Faye directly after this. Kendrick, what you doing?
I'm gonna be climbing more League of Legends.
Nice.
Started off in Iron something. Now we're close to Gold.
Nice.
So it's actually
nice.
going pretty well, better than I expected.
So Garen main plus.
Garen main. You mean any other champions?
Yeah.
Or...
What do you enjoy playing? And what roles as well?
So far mostly top lane. Sometimes bottom lane if I'm required to. Support.
Play Renekton. He's really fun.
Dude, he's actually a lot of fun, and I'm always happy when there's champions that are still the same, because the last time I played was 5-6 years ago. So there's a ton of champions that I have no friggin' idea about and get completely wrecked.
I mean, you could channel our friendly neighborhood Woof and play Nasus.
They're one of my mains.
Oh, nice.
I love playing Nasus so much, and every time I do it, I hit him with a pimp cane.
Yep.
All right. So League of Legends, finishing Bloodborne.
Trying to finish Bloodborne. We got one more zone to finish, which is Canehurst Castle, and then the final boss in the DLC and the final boss in the main game, and then hopefully we're gonna have it beaten.
Nice. Alrighty, Jigsy.
Alrighty. Well, episode 11 of Defenders of Ass will be out on Sunday. I'm gonna post 10 in the Discord right after we end here. It'll be the first time in 4 weeks the whole party's back together, so that'll be really fun.
Yeah.
Other than that, NGS starts today, so my team will probably play sometime this week. Other than that, the Betty White Otakus play on Sunday evenings. If you want to come see some Arthas plays, I only play Arthas. That's the rule. Yeah, just lots of heroes in D&D. It's a lot of fun.
It's pretty good life. Alrighty,
Good
and Kaizan, Crowan, rip. Too much of a D&D mode. Too much D&D.
It's the K names. It's the K names. But, yeah, probably be streaming a little bit. Some either Apex or Dota Chess.
No.
Follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Zach Crowan.
Exclamation mark players in the chat to get everyone's, including, assuming it hasn't broken again, Jigsy Cat Streamlabs link and everyone's actual Twitch link, so you can sub and support and donate.
True. And subscribe to Toucher with Twitch Prime.
Ooh,
Yeah, subscribe to Twitter. Give him bits.
and then subscribe to
donate
all
Humble
these
Bundle.
people with real money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, that is going to be it for the show today. We're gonna head to a break screen while Faye finishes setting up her stream, and then you guys will all be raided over to her. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all had a lovely time, and we'll see you again on Monday for more Heroes Give Chase, more HGC. Thank you, and see you all next time.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Bye.